Don't you know what you're starting? But you sure we got the clue how that this we go. Don't you know no more art? And as you look to the horizon, not a cloud, but then stormy weather's go to cold. Seems like it crept up out of nowhere, all around you is not what you foretold. You never see it coming. You see that my mind is too fast for eyes. You're done, but the time is hit you, you're not surprised.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is Dspnews, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newsroom and welcome to the Goutopia News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. No tagline. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the holiday season. Oh yes, oh yes. Oh, it's a beautiful time. The weather's beautiful outside. You guys, if any of you guys have a chance, you're going to be able to spend Thanksgiving with your friends, your family, close loved ones. There's Christmas shopping. It's an exciting time of the year. I don't want to go into the whole most wonderful time of the year. I'm waiting for December to do that, but it's a great time. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm recording this on November 17th, 2018. This was supposed to actually be done on the 16th, but it's all right. One day is one day. It's a great time of the year. But you know what the best time is about the holiday season? It's marked by a rather pivotal time of the year if you guys are part of the audience of GTG Network and Productions, or if you are part of GTG Network and Productions. Because in truth, ladies and gentlemen, it's not the weather. It's not the atmosphere. Okay? It's not all the jubilation that's going around outside alone. Those things, it's not all those things alone that christens the holiday season for us. It's the beginning of the hardcore begging season, which is what has happened. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I realize that the last broadcast was pretty tough and whatnot. I understand that things were said, and it was a rough tone, and it needed to happen. It needed to happen. But I won't say though that I didn't go too far in certain situations. So I agree and I apologize on that. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the holiday season. It's the hardcore begging season. And things are about to get amazing. First things first, as part of the hardcore begging season, there is a string of revelations that come about that kind of help christen the SS Gout and really helps push us forward. Now, we're coming off of Phil, yet again, blaming Tevin for all of his shortcomings. But in truth, and probably the thing that becomes the most hilarious, is that Phil blames Tevin, then 12 hours later he comes out publicly and admits that he's broke. He is absolutely broke. Broker than any joke that he's ever cracked. He has nothing to him. I'm broke, Phil, I'm broke. I'm broke, Phil, I'm broke. I'm broke. Just so broke. Help! 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 He is broke. Broke as hell. And in turn, he needs people to come through and help him out. It's the holiday season, so he's going to play off of people's emotions and people's generosity to get what he wants. It was all written in the stars, if you will. Like Project 7. Before and after he canceled it. So in turn, we're going to go ahead and kick the hardcore begging season off right. Ladies and gentlemen, I have 5 videos for you plus a bonus. The bonus is what you're looking at right now. But, which has to do with Ninja and him freaking out. Let me actually give a little bit of backstory on it. So in the last broadcast, I had brought up someone who donated to Phil had brought up what was Phil's thoughts on the whole Ninja situation and going off on another streamer or whatever the case may be. Phil obviously didn't know what exactly the guy was talking about, but commented on it anyway, which is kind of stupid. In any case, I had broken down what the full story was. On Twitter, someone has slipped into my DMs and was like, hey, would you mind elaborating on this, because I can't really find a lot on it. So I will. Actually, I'm about to go. We're going to get into that in just a moment. It'll pretty much lay out everything that I had said in the last broadcast. Don't worry, it'll be short. It's brought to us by Twitch Reloaded. It's a great channel, and I will leave the link to this video down in the description with everything else, because it's a great channel. You need to watch it, and I'm waiting for the day that Phil ends up landing up on his channel, probably after he loses his Twitch channel. That's the only way he's probably going to actually make it up here. In any case, though, as it pertains to the hardcore begging season, I've got 5 videos for you. First 2. By 2 of our favorites, Mr. Huffstuffs as well as Snort Burnell. First one, Mr. Huffstuffs, DarkSydePhil, end of 2018, begging starts. Oh yes, oh yes. Second one, by Snort Burnell, DsPgaming. I don't use my polls as an excuse to skip games. The best excuse in the world to beg for money. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and go a little bit further. I'm going to step into a realm of professionalism that I'm not really interested in doing, but I feel compelled to do. I had said in a broadcast or 2 ago that I was going to try to give you guys something old and something new as it pertains to certain stories. Well, this one right here is going to be it. And guess how far I'm going to take you guys back? I'm only going to take you back to about a year ago. I'm going to take you back to between November 3rd and November 7th of 2017. All 3 of these videos are by Snort Burnell, of course. First video. DarkSydePhil, health problems, 1 year 1 year begging on Twitch, and Patreon goals not reached. That was on November 3rd of 2017. Second video, daylight savings time and begging for subscribers, November 5th, 2017. Third and final video, terrible sounds plus begging for money, November 7th of 2017. Oh boy, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of something new and a little bit of something old. It's a great way of christening and moving into the holiday season in such a beautiful way. I'm saying christening a lot of times. So that's what the plan is with that. Also, some shout outs. First things first. First shout out will go to Drive Check. I saw your comment a couple of videos ago, and they were supposed to put that on my prompt, and Kevin forgot. He apologizes on that one. And it might have even been up on one of my prompts, and I missed it for whatever reason. So my fault on that, but shouts out to Drive Check. Also, shout out to Bart S, as well as Crusader Gamer and whatnot, as well as all of you guys who leave comments down in the comment section. It's very much appreciated. Second, let's see. We're going to give a shout out to our boy, Tommy here, as well as Agent Proper, for basically giving us the information that King Tut is not banned off Twitch. He may have been suspended, or he may have been temporarily banned, but he's out free flowing out with his money right now. As Tommy here said, he saw him over on another Twitch streamer's channel giving off gifted subs. He's been cited in a couple other places too, which brings up a very interesting point, ladies and gentlemen. How long until King Tut decides to go into one of his sock accounts and shows back up at one of the most pivotal times of the season for Phil, the hardcore begging season, to go ahead and fill his gravy dish with money, and to fill his stockings with money, all for that to be taken away later on? I'm not saying that I've been privy to any type of information whatsoever. I'm not saying that the DIA has heard anything or has been given any tips or anything like that. I'm just throwing that out there. It would only help the holiday season. It would only help the hardcore begging season, and it'll be much more entertaining for everybody. Not saying King Tut's going to do it, but I'm just saying it would be interesting. Shouts out to Tommy. Shouts out to Agent Proper for bringing that to us. I very much appreciate it. Thank you to Agent Proper for also delivering to me my new suit. This is delicious, and it'll look really good with my my fresh coat, fresh new coat that just came through. So that's cool, and I'll try to start incorporating comments like this into the videos moving forward, especially really good comments. So thank you very much to both of you guys for that, and for everybody else. Now, ladies and gentlemen, is there anything else that I need to kind of lay on you guys beforehand? No, I think that's basically it. Let's go ahead and get into this ninja situation real fast, and then we'll get into the broadcast at hand, and hopefully you guys have a good time, and it should be great. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News, always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. Oh yes, a GTG Network and Productions. You guys all know the slogan. It's time to watch me work.
Ninja believes a player that killed him in-game was a StreamSniper. So first off with Ninja. This one begins with the game of Fortnite where Ninja believes a player that killed him in-game was a StreamSniper. So first off, for context, here is the clip.
Laser! Watch for the emote, watch for the emote, watch for the emote.
Guys,
No.
this guy is
No.
literally
Oh my god, dude.
wow, dude, look how good he is at building.
Look at him,
Wow.
he's showing you. He's showing you the
that?
way, dude.
Wow, look how good
Showing
he is
you
at
the way.
building. Oh,
There's the
oh,
emote, there it is.
There it is, dude. Four player. Stream sniping. You gotta love proof, you know what I mean? You gotta always love when there's proof. You literally, what an idiot. How stupid can you be?
That guy's pretty stupid, I think.
That's skin swapping. I mean,
I'm going out of my way to make sure this guy's banned. IC5, alright. IC5, if you leave this game right now, I will not report you.
So yes, Ninja here says, and I quote,
I'm going out of my way to make sure this guy's banned.
then it was found out that the person Ninja killed, which he showed the username through the report screen, is also a streamer. The streamer goes by the name IC5, and of course soon after found out because a bunch of Ninja's viewers were adding him and telling him that Ninja's going to get his account banned. So here IC5 had to respond, making a YouTube video where he goes over the situation and explains that he only emoted because 6 people were spectating him.
I mean, I guess the moral lesson is you're not supposed to dance, all right? You can't dance. This right here, the emotes, it's not a thing that you're allowed to do in Fortnite when you kill someone and have 6 spectators. It's not allowed, guys. I'm sorry to break it to you. Sorry.
So stemming from this original Ninja clip, the original post on the Fortnite subreddit got over 46,500 upvotes, and the general discussion is that this person emoting proves nothing. Emoting in Fortnite is a form of BM, the same as spraying in Overwatch or teabagging in Call of Duty. Simple fact is, everyone does it because everyone has had it done to them. And so after all of this, a few tweets happened. There was a lot of back and forth between Ninja, Dr. Lupo, and this guy, so here are some of the main points. First off, Dr. Lupo responded saying, I didn't think you were referring to stream sniping. Then Dr. Lupo got in an argument over, well, if you didn't think he was stream sniping, why are you agreeing with Ninja? And after a bit more back and forth, Ninja does finally apologize after saying Epic looked into the player and decided he wasn't a stream sniper, but then finishes off the apology with, stop milking it. Then we had a lot of Ninja viewers trying to find evidence on this guy being a stream sniper. So the evidence from this is a clip of him saying that he stream sniped in the past. Well, not technically.
How'd you do it during stream?
Huh?
How'd you do it during stream?
No, I told you I didn't like technically stream sniper.
Yeah.
I joined after, and then like I was watching his video.
Yeah.
I seen him kill someone.
As well as a clip from this guy's channel that shows he had the account name Ninja's Real Loot, and finally a Discord message saying I'm in Ninja's game, keeping in mind that all of this evidence is from his past and doesn't necessarily prove he was stream sniped in this situation. And so I wanted to finish this one off with asking you guys, number 1, do you think this guy was stream sniping? And 2, if he was, should he be banned for it? As well as 2 final clips that come from Ninja. So the first one, Ninja had a new Samsung commercial come out where he kills someone and then emotes on the person he killed, and I shit you not, that clip came out today. As well as a clip from that original stream where he talks about this guy stream sniping and argues with his chat about it. So here's that one.
Maybe he's not sniping. Maybe he killed me alone in a solo squad, and then Ben said, do the emote, and then he emoted. Leave. If you guys want to unsub for that, get out of my stream. Leave, please. Go sub with someone else. I can't handle that. I can't handle you guys not being intelligent and not knowing that guy's not.
Now, first things first, ladies and gentlemen, this is the #1 gamer in the world right now. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, that's a whole lot of DSP behavior right there. That's a whole lot of salt coming from that from his beautifully colored hair there. That's a whole lot of salt. I mean, come on, Ninja, you're the top dude out there right now, at least as it pertains to Fortnite. Everybody's gunning for you. Shit like this is gonna happen. So for you to react this way, it just seems, you know what I'm saying? He's a public figure, and I'm talking about in more ways than one, not just on Twitch, but the guy has a commercial out. He has a couple commercials out by Samsung and whatnot, where he's promoting a product, yet you're acting like this. Did people forget what it's like to be professionals and shit. Like, you're in a position where you're making crazy money. Who gives a shit if a couple of people stream snipe you? You're making real money outside of Twitch. You've got sponsors, you've got supporters and shit. You're working with actual corporations. They don't need that type of behavior. I mean, eventually he tightened the shit up, but you know what I'm saying? It just goes to show that, you know what I'm saying, if you're a miserable individual beforehand, you will after. Not to call him miserable, but you know, he's certainly salty as shit. And you're in an environment where people are watching you, especially business people from a business standpoint that are looking for you to endorse their products. They don't need you acting like this. Those people don't take days off. It's just like recruiters and shit. If you play a sport, they're watching you 24/7. Any chance that they can get eyes on you, they're doing it. It's no different. You would think he'd be smart enough to know that. Apparently not. And like I said, and then the last part is seeing the shades of DSP come out was rather surprising. Oh, you guys don't agree with me? Oh, you guys can leave. You guys got to go. You guys do not see this. You guys are not using your brain. You guys are not intelligent enough to get what's going on. You guys need to leave. Ooh. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Stream sniping when Ben literally asked the guy to emote, and he did. Like, leave. Like, I can't. Please, dude. If you guys can't connect the dots.
And then follow.
But what I will say is this, guys. Today, if you want to help me out the most...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take you from the multicolored salt to just our usual salt. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Mr. Huffstuff's DarkSydePhil. End of 2018, begging starts. Oh yes, the hardcore begging season has begun. Let's go.
And I really do need the help right now. Please tip me on the stream. If you have the option to say, gee, I want to help Phil out today, how can I help him? Tipping me helps me the most. And the reason being is because right now, financially, I'm broke. I mean that. I'm broke. What happened is, over the summer, YouTube ad revenues plummeted for me because they took away my ads for 3 weeks. Then I changed my video format to longer videos. And it took quite a long time for my YouTube channel to kind of get back on its own feet. So I've been kind of behind on money ever since then. Now, in addition to that, as you guys know, I left my partnership on YouTube with Curse, so that made it so that my money was kind of not only decreased but staggered as well. When
you didn't leave, they kicked you out. Basically, they dropped you, and they were just super nice about it. Okay, you weren't making them any money. They needed to rebrand. They needed to tighten up their image and the people that are on there, and you didn't make the cut. Period. Now, the debate is, even though Phil is an obvious toxic piece of shit, if he was bringing in more views, do you think Curse would have kept him? I had said early on, even most of this year, to be honest with you, that, you know, maybe if Phil could get his views back up, that Curse would pick him back up. And a lot of you were saying, nah, GTG, he's done. He's done. Even if he was able to bring his views back up, they don't want to touch him. I believe you guys were right. I believe you guys were right. Well, anyway, let's continue. DSP News.
When I get paid. I used to get paid on the 10th of every month. Now I get paid on the 20th or later for YouTube. Now, in addition to all of that, Twitch, you know, has been my main source of income for the past, you know, many months. Since the summer, basically, Twitch has taken over as my main source of income. And don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. Twitch has been great. But Twitch doesn't pay me until, like, the 15th of the month, usually. And right now I'm in a pickle because almost all my bills clear before then. Like, almost every single bill that I pay in the month clears between the 1st and the 13th. And it's really annoying because basically the way that I had things set up previously worked, because my payments would come in and in tune with all of my bills and everything. Now they don't. Now I get all my payments around the same exact time of the month, but then all my bills come through before, and I'm like, shit, the money's not here yet. And this is what happened to me this week. All my bills came due. Twitch didn't pay me yet. And so I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Now I have no money. You know? So this sucks. It really does.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is coming off of Phil's blow up about how he makes so much money. He makes so much more money than Tevin, though Tevin has all the views, which means that, which translation is Tevin has the much more devoted fan base. You know what I mean? I guess that depends on whether you value time what's more valuable to you, time or money. But to be honest with you, it's probably pretty safe to say, without a doubt, that Tevin has the better fan base. So much so, in fact, that Phil even said, though, you know, those viewers are supposed to be my viewers. I just don't let them do the talking shit over here. But he still low-key basically said, I want those viewers. So there you go, Phil. Now, let's talk a little bit. So as you guys know, Phil gets paid from Twitch between the 13th and the 15th. YouTube, he says he gets paid on the 10th until he was dropped from Curse. Now he's getting paid on the 20th. Let's break this down just a little bit. My theory, my frame of mind at the moment is, despite the drawbacks and setbacks, if you will, that Phil has had this year, being dropped from Curse, losing his YouTube channel for about 2 weeks or so, you know, or losing DsPgaming, I should say. You know, the numerous setbacks that he's had over the year, what King Tut provided him over those 2 months, that roughly $20,000, should be more than enough, not just to carry him over the 2 months, but to carry him into at least the first quarter, if not the second quarter of next month, of 2019. Now, let's break down some of his expenses. I'm sorry. He has a condo. He has a house payment. He's said on record that they both are basically about the same amount, between $1,200 and $1,500 a month. He has a car payment that we know for sure. There's allegedly a possible car payment for Kat, which kind of makes sense, because Phil's not going to want to pull a Leanna all over again. So what would it matter to go ahead and get her a nice used car? Just saying. So either he has a payment on it or he just paid it off altogether. So there's that. Then you have all of his expenses, groceries, light, or electricity, I should say. Whichever. Most people go with it either way. The water bill. Then his entertainment, which is what? He has like he has a PlayStation subscription. He has Netflix. He has two internet lines, one of them being a business internet line, which is ridiculous because he doesn't need it. And it looks like he's certainly getting, the Comcast, I think it is getting way more money out of him than he's getting an actual service from them. Essentially, he's just being frivolous with his money. So either A, he's lying and he's not really broke, or B, he's just irresponsible as shit. Either which way, it's dumb. It's super, super dumb that you couldn't stretch $20,000 out. That's insane. And you know he would have already had that money he would have at least received it by now. Because you think, what, those 2 months was August and September? So he would have he should have been paid for it at least in mid-October. It's November. It's November 17th to be exact. You're telling me you already broke? Like, you seriously broke? See, that's what I'm saying. It just doesn't sound right, but Phil's an irresponsible, individual, so I guess it's not too much of a surprise. But that's neither here nor there. What are your thoughts, though? Tell me what you guys think and how that all plays out, but there's no way I think he pissed through 20 grand. And then there's also the speculation, too, that, he's throwing money to Kat on the side, even though she works. But, you got to keep up appearances, right? Dspnews.
It's no one's fault. It's just a shitty situation with all the stuff that changed over the last few months in regards to the YouTube situation and everything that, I'm in a tough time right now. I am. All right. So, if you want to help me out the most today, all right, the best way that you can help me is tipping me, because tips I get right away, and I'll be able to put those right towards my bills, right into the bank account, until basically this freaking Twitch payment comes through, which was at the latest it's supposed to be the 15th of the month. Last month it came through on the 12th. I just looked it up. I was like, man, that was useful because it came through early. It didn't come through early this month, so now that's why I'm kind of screwed. So please consider tipping me if you can. How do you tip?
Now, first things first. So because it came through last month early, and I mean by only a day or two, so that would be like the 13th. Since it didn't come early this month, you're screwed by 2 days, which goes back to what Tevin had said about this motherfucker's going to be paid in 2 days, or at that time anyway. He was about to be paid in 2 days, and yet he was already starting up. He was already ramping up for the hardcore begging season, even though the money was already on the way. It was probably in his account, and it just wasn't released to him yet. So at least the bank had it. And he was so greedy that he wanted to spend the next 48 hours to get as much money out of them as possible. And yet again, despite his setbacks, what Tut contributed to him should at least have let him break even, I should say, for the year. He should at least break even. So the excuses, in my mind, the excuses that he's giving is just, it's not enough. It's not enough to justify him being broke. It really isn't. Especially when he's talking about buying new decorations. He's already talking about and speculating on what Cat's gonna be cooking for Thanksgiving and Christmas. He's talking about getting all this, all this alcohol and all this stuff for the Christmas stream. As you guys know, that was based on sub goals, whereas last year it was based on Patreon goals. We'll talk about that later on. Theoretically, he has money coming in from all avenues. Now, let me go even further. It's not just YouTube and it's not just Twitch. He still has Patreon. Is he still making his $1,200 fully onto Patreon? No. I think he's only in the... he's probably somewhere between $870 and maybe $10 and maybe $1,000. Somewhere down that line, I don't think he's been hitting the goal lately. But he still has Patreon, too, in the background. And that can cover at least 3 bills. I don't know, Phil. You keep putting all this information out there and you expect people not to listen to it. And then when they do, you're like, no, dude, you don't know what you're talking about, man. You don't have any clue of what's going on, man. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You tell us everything behind the scenes, especially when you're desperate. Hence the reason why the hardcore begging season is always entertaining. DSP News.
Ways. If you look below my stream, there's a tip jar button you can click on. Or you can type in !tip into the stream chat. That'll also bring up a link that brings you to my tips page. Again, if you have the option, listen, I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. Anything you guys contribute, cheers, subs, Patreon, Teespring, my new Teespring line of product, the holiday merch has launched and all that. So anything is appreciated, but right now tipping me would help me the most. Okay, guys. Okay. Hodor Targ cheered, and it's when I read something like this, it's hard to see if this guy's being serious or not, or if he's trying to be facetious. I'm going to read what he said. Let's see what you guys think. He says, sad to hear that Twitch forgot to pay you. Now, I never even said that. That's not what happened at all. But, he's spinning it in a way to make it sound silly. Can you describe a little bit how tough it is living paycheck to paycheck? Even though I'm a poor student, I still got financial reserves. People don't realize adults like you who make decent money have tons of financial obligations which drag them down. Yeah. The bottom line is, even though I make good money, that money immediately goes out to everything. And this year has been rough for me because this year, financially, things kind of went sour. And it's not like, for example, I wasn't making good money. It was everything.
Now let's step in there for a minute. I make good money, but as soon as it comes in, then it's gone. Then you're not making good money. You're not making good money because it's obvious that you can't. Everything that you're doing, Phil, it's not keeping up with your lifestyle. And it's certainly not keeping up with your obligations. So what you think might be good money isn't covering enough bases. Which means that the fan base needs to step up. But the funny thing is the fan base is actually part of his income. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. This man has a small legion of idiots who are part of his income. That is factored into his income. So when he doesn't make a certain amount of money on Twitch a month, he starts bugging out. Just like how he used to do at Patreon back a year ago. When he wouldn't hit the Patreon goal, he would start freaking out. And then another fucked up thing, which is a nice little scandal from last year and the year before, is if he didn't hit a Patreon goal, if he didn't hit the $12.50, he just kept the money and wouldn't do the goal. He would go ahead and recycle the goal for the following month. We've got a story coming up on that soon, where he ended up doing that for some of those campaigns. Actually, it'll be in my October and what was supposed to be my Halloween broadcast, where he did that with the Halloween stream last year. He tried to hit the goal for it twice, and I think it didn't happen. Or what was it? Was it Halloween or was it Christmas? I think it was Halloween, but the Christmas goal too was kind of screwed up too last year also, where there were some issues with that. And then Tevin brought up on stream a couple days ago a very interesting point that if you remember all of the alcohol and stuff and all the festive stuff that Phil bought for last year's Christmas stream, he didn't even get to most of that stuff. But guess what he's going to do? They paid him $1,250 for that. He's going to recycle that for this year. All that stuff that he didn't use and he didn't drink, he held on to it for a whole year, and he's going to recycle it and use it this year. And use the sub goals on Twitch to essentially pay him to do the event. So he's still winning. I know it seems shitty, but like I said, we'll go over that when the time comes up. But my apologies though. I can't remember if it was the Halloween stream or the Christmas stream. I think it was the Halloween stream though, where he tried to hit the goal twice. August, he set the goal up, but they didn't hit it. September, he tried to set the goal up. They didn't hit it. But yet, he still walked away with, what, $1,600 between those 2 months? It didn't give them anything. And then he ran it a third month, and they finally hit it. I think it was the Halloween one. Well, like I said, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. DSP News.
Else. Like, all the credit card companies who I have credit cards with doubled their minimum payments. Because if you guys didn't hear in the news, because of everything going on in the government and everything, I definitely don't want to get into political discussion here. But basically, interest rates went up this year. So all credit card rates went up. And credit card companies freaked and said, oh shit, we've got to make sure that people are paying enough to pay down their credit cards. So basically, all my minimum payments doubled on my credit cards this year. So I'm not even exaggerating here. Probably more than $1,000 a month that I used to make, that used to be, oh, save this goes towards taxes, or this goes towards a fund if I need money for something, is now blown frivolously on credit card payments. And there's nothing I can do about that. I don't have money to pay off my credit cards. So, this is money that I used to easily have flexibility, and it's gone. Just gone like that. In an instant. Fucking gone. All of my taxes went up this year. Not my income tax, but everything else. Property tax and the like, everything went up this year. A lot of stuff went up. Insurance. My insurance payments all went up this year. There's things behind the scenes that you guys don't realize. Especially, let me put it this way. If you guys are...
No, let me put it this way. One, a lot of your obligations and bills are going to go up each month anyway. I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but I have credit cards. And none of my interest payments went up. But then again, I don't carry a balance each month. I pay, like, the moment I charge it, I usually pay it off within a couple of days. Other than that, I only use my credit cards for emergencies. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to put myself above anybody else. I'm just saying that's how I like to play it. Now, unless he's carrying large balances month after month after month over and over and over again, even then, I haven't heard, at least at current, that credit card interest rates have doubled on people. So either A, he's blatantly lying to these kids, or B, there's something really fucked up with what he's doing with his credit cards that made the credit card companies be like, well, we don't know if he's going to come through. But then how would that make sense to double his credit card, the interest rates on his credit cards, if the credit card company doesn't believe he can barely make the payments now? Why would you put him in another situation where he'll just cause the credit cards to just default, which would fuck his credit up to shit? But Phil's the type of asshole to do that. And yet again, how is it that he's making thousands and thousands of dollars of liquid cash? Well, not liquid cash, but liquid of, he's having a problem with liquidity. That's the word I was thinking about. But he has all of these liquid assets coming in each month. There we go. I recovered. Yeah. And yet you can't even make credit card payments. Matter of fact, why are you even still working off of your credit card payments? You should have at least a couple of those things paid off. And then just go ahead and pay with the cash that you have coming in. What are you doing? And yet again, this is someone here who's 36 years old and is still acting like that fucking 15-year-old, acting like a fucking bratty piece of shit, and he can't get himself together. So it's funny how he keeps talking about, oh, I run a business, I've run a successful business 10 years, this, that, and the third. You're not successful, because look at where you're at now. You have the 3 good years that he had, ladies and gentlemen, which is from 2011 to 2013. All that money is gone. And I remember someone was just saying it the other day. I can't remember who I was watching, but someone was saying that those 3 years, okay, 2011, 2012, and 2013, where he made essentially the most amount of money, he should be living pretty good off all that. Those 3 years alone, he should be living pretty good. And somehow he kept botching it up because he kept acting like an asshole. He could have been big, but he wanted to be an asshole because he thought being an asshole would justify him being the realest guy on YouTube, which in turn only hurted his value. 2012, same bullshit. 2013, he fucked everything all up. And he's been in decline ever since because of his decisions, thinking stuff was a good idea and it really wasn't. And now if he botches his credit cards, he's really going to be screwed way before he can get into the equity of his home. We'll cross. Oh, and property tax. He still has property tax to worry about too. By the way, shouts out to James and Lester on that. All right, DSP News.
okay, if you guys are young, enjoy it. Because when I was young, I had very little financial obligations anywhere, you know? Whatever money I made pretty much got saved up for whatever I wanted to spend it on. If I wanted to go on a trip to go play Street Fighter, I would go fly across the country and go play Street Fighter in a tournament. If I wanted to save up to buy something nice for myself, a game system, you know, clothes, whatever, I had the capability of doing that. I don't even have that anymore. Like, it's funny because some people, they watch a stream and they'll be like a really good stream where people are very positive and contributing a lot. Wow, Phil just made a ton of money and this is amazing. He's going to go out and really, you know, treat.
And don't get me wrong, I kind of get the point that he was making, but he's still delivering it wrong. In your youth, yeah, go out there and enjoy yourself, but don't sit there and be like Phil and put yourself in a shitload of debt, which is one of the main problems with Phil in the first place. Let me give you guys some lore. So, Phil didn't start getting big on YouTube till he was, what, 26, 28? And he had already drummed up a shitload of debt, going back and forth to all these different tournaments, using his credit cards to go back and forth. Now, granted, he had a job at the time, but that's what he was doing. So when he got on YouTube and he started getting big, he had incurred all of this debt that he needed YouTube to basically bail him out, which it did. So he had his fun, he got lucky, which he's admitted, and he was able to pay off all of his debt. Maybe if he didn't incur all of that debt, he could have saved at least a portion of it, and who knows where he'd be now. But then, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue back with the scenario. He got himself out of debt. YouTube got him out of debt, only for him to incur more debt, actually twice what he originally had, and now you see why he's in the situation he's in now. And then on top of that, the idiot thought it was a good idea to move himself and his child girlfriend across fucking country. And he's still trying to pay that shit off. It just goes to show, you put large quantities of money in the hands of someone who's mentally and morally irresponsible, and it's nothing but disaster. And trust me, if you think this piece of shit wouldn't try to convince his parents to put their house up to get him out of it, to get him out of his financial troubles, you're deluding yourself. You're giving him way, way too much credit if you don't think he doesn't, and somewhere in the back of his mind, he hasn't thought of that. Of, you know, hey, mom, dad, could you at least put the money up and then I'll pay you guys back? I'm just saying, he's a slime ball piece of shit. You really don't think he wouldn't sell his parents up the river to save himself, even if it was just for a little while. Dspnews.
So, for the holidays, like, no, that goes right towards my bills. And, you know, that's just the situation I'm in, you know. Now, behind the scenes, I am trying a few things to see if I can make shit better. Because right now, I mean, you know, as you guys know, I don't really bother you with my financial stuff these days. Last year, this seems like the whole fucking year was just financials. And I don't want to bother you in 2018 with that kind of shit constantly. So I haven't really talked about it recently. But we're coming towards the end of the year here, and basically am in a really tough situation where I don't have money for taxes, and I'm basically trying to do a few things to see if there's something I can do about that, whether it means borrowing more fucking money or refinancing or doing things behind the scenes here, you know. But it's tough. It really is tough. Like right now, I'm being honest with you guys, I have no money. My bank account is empty, and I don't have money in there again until Twitch pays me. Twitch did not pay me late. Twitch usually pays me around the 15th of the month. It's like I said, it used to be all my payments came in early in the month. I used to get Patreon. I used to get... Now,
let's think about this for just a second, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a DSP fan, okay, if you're one of these brainwashed kids out here, you just heard him flexing on Tevin the night before. Or if you're a true DSP fan, you hadn't gone to a detractor channel the day after, because, you know, you have stuff to do at night, and you actually heard what he said. And now he's telling you that he's broke. He's telling you that these companies that he works for didn't come through with his payment for whatever reason, or what's really being said is he was irresponsible with not only what he does with his money, but how he pays his bills. He wasn't smart enough. This is someone who supposedly spends 3 to 4 hours paying his bills each month, that couldn't sit there and pick up the phone or even email some of these companies and be like, hey, can you push my payment date forward or back slightly because of such and such reason? Insert here. You're telling me he couldn't do that, especially when certain companies, for example, like your cable company doesn't have cable, but your cable company, your cell phone bill company, things like this, they have grace periods after the due date. So you have a window of opportunity, if you will, if you need it. Now, I don't know exactly how many. I can't tell you because I've never used that grace period before. But that's not something I do know, because I've read contracts, that you don't actually have to tell them, hey, this is what my situation is. This bill is due on the 20th. Can you extend me 10 days? It automatically kicks in. But what I also know is if they extend you 10 days or 15 days, whatever the case may be, you better get it paid within the 5 days afterwards. Don't sit there and extend it to its fullest period. It's just something you shouldn't do. You know what I mean? Just from a morale standpoint. I don't think it can actually hurt you as long as they get their money. But even still, a little bit of forethought, a little bit of planning, whatever it was that you thought that you needed right then and there, you didn't. Because look at what you do need right now. Just saying, ladies and gentlemen. DSP News. Don't end up like a Dave.
YouTube and everything would come in within 3 or 4 days at the beginning of the month. YouTube usually came in around the 10th of the month. So all my payments would come at the beginning of the month. Now this year, my Patreon declined dramatically because I made a focus on streaming, not on Patreon. So I used to make a certain amount on Patreon. I make about half as much now. So the number one, that's a massive decline right there of money that I used to get early in the month. I don't. Now YouTube's paying me late in the month. They're paying me like the 20th or 25th or something when they used to pay me on the 10th. So all the money's coming in much later than it used to, but all my bills are due at the same time. So it's screwing me over when it comes to timing. It's not the money, it's the timing of the money that screws me over. And the thing that really gets me about all of this, okay, is the fact that overdrafting at a bank account destroys you. Every time my bank account gets overdrafted, it's a $35 fee. And already I can tell you it's probably happened about twice already this month. So just think about that. That adds up. You know, if it happens, you know, a bunch of times, you're talking hundreds of dollars of fees, and I just don't have the money for it. You know what I mean? Like, even though I could be making good money, which I am, I owe it all to other people. So it immediately comes in and goes right the fuck back out. And it sucks. It could really feel sometimes like there's a weight on my shoulders that, you know, how am I ever going to get out of this situation? And it sucks because sometimes when it looks like I'm doing good, then all of a sudden something else happens, right? Last year in particular, things were looking great, and then we had the whole tax situation with the state that screwed me over. That cost me, no lie, by the time that was done, the whole state taxes situation that was fucked up probably cost me about $5,000, you know, out of nowhere by the end of it. Because basically it was so bad, man. It was just like, not only did I have to figure out how to pay the state taxes, then I had to pay the fucking accountant so much money. He billed me so much money for his work. It was insane. And guess where that went? Right onto the credit cards. Because I didn't have $5,000 lying around, so it went right to the credit card. See what I mean? If you're young, enjoy it. Seriously. Enjoy the life you have. Enjoy the freedom before you get tied down in all kinds of financial shit. You know, and just do the most with your young life while you can before you get tied up in all this kind of crap. Alright? So... So all that being said, I appreciate your concern if it's legit Hodartarg. I'm not.
But just saying, don't drum up a bunch of debt to do so. Yet again, don't be a Dave. DSP News.
Exactly sold on that it is, but I just want to say again, thanks to everyone who does contribute. You guys are awesome. And in particular, right now because of the tough patch I'm in, if you could tip me today, that's the way to help me out the most. All right. All right. Continuing on. Tazariel cheered. He says, dude, get rid of your condo. Stop saying you can't. You absolutely can. Taking a bath and losing on it is better than just paying for it and for nothing. Wrong. Absolutely wrong, Tazariel. So here's the deal with the condo in Connecticut. I can't get rid of it. I still owe around $100,000 on it. Yet at the most I could sell for it is around $60,000. I don't have $40,000 to pay off.
Oh yeah, I want you guys to hear this. I want you to hear how long he's had this condo and how much he's paid off on it so far. This is what happens when you're a Dave, okay? Check this out.
The rest of the mortgage, okay? I don't. So legally I can't do that. If I were to just stop paying the mortgage, okay, it could probably take years, and I mean years, for them to say, the bank say, oh, he's not paying it, let's foreclose on it and try to take this condo from him. This would be years of them destroying my credit. And by the way, my credit would then probably be destroyed for about 8 years after that. Meaning if I ever need credit for anything. I don't have it. And by the way, if my credit tanked, all my credit cards and everyone would probably cancel them. So that's stuff, liquidity that I need in order to operate the business that I wouldn't have anymore because everything would be canceled. I wouldn't have and be able to use any kind of credit whatsoever. So it would ruin me financially if I were to just stop paying the condo. Oh, by the way, in addition, if I were somehow by some miracle be able to sell the condo, let's say I convinced my mortgage company somehow to take $60,000 for something that I owe $100,000 on, guess what? They tax that like income. So let's say I sold that condo for $60,000 and I just use it to pay the mortgage and we're done. Guess what? I would then later on that year have to pay money as if I made $60,000 profit. So yeah, that would be considered $60,000 extra income on top of what I made that year. Can you imagine the additional taxes I would owe the federal government for that? And by the way, it's money I wouldn't have because the money would go right to pay the mortgage off. It's not like I would have $60,000 in my pocket, yet the government would still charge me taxes on that, like I made profit when I didn't. So I am completely 100% stuck with that fucking condo, and can't get rid of it. Okay, at all. And it sucks. It's a shitty situation, okay? Basically, the way I see it now, I've now owned that condo for about 10 years. I bought it in 2009. So now when I make my mortgage payments, it's going to start going more towards the principal than the interest, okay? A lot of you have no idea what I'm talking about, and that's okay. But basically, in the next few years, the more I pay that condo, the more it's going to pay down what I owe. And I'm hoping within, say, 5 to 8 more years, I'll finally have paid it off enough that now I can sell it for the equal amount and get rid of it. Okay? I hope.
Imagine owning something for 10 years and almost never touching the principal on it. Almost. Oh my Christ. And ladies and gentlemen, this is someone who has parents. He has, well, I use the term loosely now. He doesn't really have friends. But he, at one time, had friends who owned shit, and he could have asked for advice. He could have, been like, you know what? Instead of me paying, let's say $1,200, let's say he owes $1,200 a month on it, even though, like I said, it's between $1,200 and $1,500 a month. Maybe I should pay a little more each month, just so I can do myself a favor somewhere down the line. But see, Phil's not someone who thinks in the long term. It's always short term. It's always what's convenient for him right then and there. That's like sitting there driving a nice BMW around for X amount of years and never getting the oil changed, even though you're paying for like the deluxe premium package and you never used it. You never had a chance to take advantage of all the money that you put into it, but you wanted to have it because you felt good about doing it. That's like the same idiot wanting a 4K camera and he can't even render anything in 4K. It's just like him needing that big screen TV when he could be playing off a monitor. It's the same reason why now he's low-key asking for a brand new PC, but he's probably not going to play any PC games because every time he does, he bitches and complains about how my wrist hurts, my forearm hurts. I mean, what? With all that jerking you're doing, you're having a problem? Whatever. Sorry. So, yet again, it's Phil wanting to have the image of greatness, of being of almost royalty in a lot of ways, of being the man. Yet he can't pay for it, but he doesn't care because right then and there, if someone looks at Phil and is like, "Oh wow, Phil's the man," he's okay with that. He doesn't care about what's going to happen 12 months down the line. But yet he's so successful. Yet he had 3 good days to sit there and rail off on Tevin when, praise be almighty, when he has all these bills stacking up in the mailbox that he only checks every 3 fucking days. Well, that makes sense. Dspnews.
I really fucking hope. So we'll see. All right, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But no, there's nothing I can do with that condo. And anyone who thinks I can, you're basically incredibly uninformed and you don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Ren Jesse James Cheers. It's a shame you don't have my bank. 9.75% interest on the credit card and 1.85% on the savings. With all my $75. Anyway, would you consider going solar? I'm having panels installed today, and the salesman claimed it's cheaper than the electric bill, but I'm pretty sure he took us for a ride. I'm pretty sure solar would not work out here in Washington State, considering the fact that although we do get a lot of sun during the summertime, especially now during the fall time, there's like no sun at all It's complete cloud cover and rain constantly throughout the fall and winter. So I don't think it would be making much sense to try to be gathering solar power when the sun's not out. See what I mean? Okay. Alright, Hodor Tark cheered. He says, in no way did I mean to be any kind of a spin doctor. Okay. Alright, well, fair enough. He says, I thought so you get money in the middle of the month, and Twitch was just late in a rare instance. I mean, they're not late at all. Like I said, they're not late. At all. So it's not an issue of, oh, they're late or anything like that. It's an issue of basically, since all of my money that comes in changed since the summer, because like I said, I'm not partnered with Curse anymore. When I was, I would get paid around the 10th of the month. That now doesn't happen. Now I get paid later in the month from YouTube. So that was one major payment that I used to get. That used to be earlier. That's much later. Oh, by the way, that payment when it comes in is way less now because YouTube revenue has really, bottomed out ever since the summer when all that crap happened to my YouTube channel. So it's like a double whammy. Not only am I getting paid later, I'm getting paid less. And I haven't recovered from that. I'm not even into a set schedule that works right now where, all my bills are clearing properly. No,
and this is what happens when you can't adapt. This is what happens when you can't adjust. And you're not flexible. You can't work within your situation and whatnot until you figure out a way to get up out of it. This is what happens. Oh, I'm not making such and such a month this month here and this month here like I was doing the 6 months previous. What am I going to do, dude? It's the end of the world. No, it's not the end of the world. You go ahead and work within your boundaries. What new payments do you have, Phil? What new obligations have you picked up that screwed you over? Oh, you don't want to tell us that. You're going to eventually slip anyway because the money's still not coming through. So you're going to eventually get desperate and have to talk. But for now, you want to keep enjoying these extra days off that you're taking with Kat. You still want to go ahead and take, I don't even think he streams on Sunday nights anymore. If you know that you're broke, then why weren't you those months where things were good? You didn't save it, or B, why didn't you double up? There's no way that Phil thought Tut was going to stay around forever. He wasn't going to become the next Brightside Viking. Swaggins and Sidella definitely didn't want that to happen because they didn't want to relinquish what little control that they had over there, which isn't any control at all. So yet again, just because this is how things have been doesn't mean this is how it's going to always be. I shouldn't have to explain it to someone your age, Phil, but apparently someone does. DSP News.
Basically, you guys are contributing, and as tips and stuff come in, I'm shuffling money around to my bank account, and I'm shuffling money here and there to try to get money into position to pay everything, and it hasn't evened out yet. Quite frankly, I don't know if and when it will, without me doing some other kind of action behind the scenes, like I said, trying to refinancing and stuff like that. I don't know how it's going to, because it's every month now everything's fluctuating everywhere. It's pretty crazy. Okay. Anyway, enough about that. Let's continue on here, okay? Tazariel has no idea what he's talking about. He still insists that he knows my entire life situation and thinks that he could solve all my problems for me. These are the kind of people that are frustrating. The know-it-alls. I know everything about everything, and I know that you could have a better situation. You don't know jack. You don't know anything. You don't know about my personal situation. You don't know my credit score. You don't know how much debt I have. You don't know anything about the housing market in Connecticut. You know nothing. But you think you're know-it-all, and just because you think you have a little bit of fucking knowledge about something, you think that you know everything, man. You gotta relax. You gotta relax and just understand, the things that I reveal to you guys is very honest and open. I'm not making shit up, and I'm not spinning shit. I'm just being very real with you guys, and a lot of people don't like that. My God, why would Phil spend today's pre-stream talking about this stuff? Because someone asked, and that's why, but that's why I don't go on and on and on.
Well, it's not like you answer every question that's asked of you. And I thought you said you weren't gonna share so much about your personal life this year, Phil. Oh, you mean what you and Kat are doing because you're probably paying her under the table just to be around. But as for my bills and everything, well, guys, I need you guys. You guys are part of my income. I gotta let you guys know what's going on because shit, guys, you guys got bills to pay and taxes are coming up, and it's the holidays. and I really need that new PC and a new camera and probably a new mic too. Are you fucking serious? Oh my god. And people still defend him. They defend his right to stupidity. It makes no sense. Like I said, I don't know if gout is contagious. I don't know if gout is an STD. I don't know if it's airborne, but apparently people around him keep catching it. It's amazing. DSP News.
Constantly. I'm not going to, you know, it's a waste of everyone's time for me to be constantly harping on it. I know last year, like I said, last year was a year that was real shitty because I had a state back taxes situation and all that shit going on, and it was not very pretty. And that's why this year, even though financially this year things have been very rough for me, I haven't been sharing that information with you guys because I don't want to inundate you with that shit constantly. You know what I mean? But, you know, being a know-it-all like that doesn't help anything. Oh, I just know that Phil could be doing things better, but he just refuses to do it. Are you... I mean, that's nuts. Yes, you're right. There's so many ways things could be better, but I just refuse. You're right. I refuse to have a better situation for myself. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh my god, these people. Anyway, let's continue. Kmart manager, the article you read is what's called a spin article. It's not correct. He says, I just read an article that Amazon's going to have a second HQ that's going to tank Seattle housing prices. What that's going to do, it's going to tank prices of people who actually want to live in the city of Seattle. That's it. It's not going to tank prices around here because around here we've got so many cool employers in this area. We've got Boeing. We've got Microsoft. Yes, we've got Amazon. Microsoft actually is apparently expanding out here to have even more. The housing market out here is very good. The thing is... Okay,
so let's stop right there. So the housing market is very good. There's all these different employers out there, yet you can't go to any of them. You can't go to not one of them and get yourself a job. Not at all. You know about all of them, and you know that them being there is supposed to go ahead and raise property values, but yet you won't go out there and get a job. Okay. And where's Kat working at? Is she working for any of these companies? Just saying. Just asking. Just out of curiosity. All right. Just thought I'd ask.
The housing market out here was insane. Like, it was like the most competitive in the country. And now you're starting to see these, I call them panic articles. You know how you read an article, oh my god, did you hear chicken causes cancer? You know, stupid shit like that. Basically, there's a lot of panic articles like that out here recently. Oh my god, the housing market isn't seeing exponential growth like it's seen for the past 5 straight years. This is the end of everything. It's like, no, that's not how life works. But they got to make their headlines. You know, they got to get people to buy their fucking newspapers and shit. If you actually look into it, what they're basically saying is the housing market out here is incredibly healthy and everything's still selling for sky-high prices just compared to a few years ago, but it's not insane. It's not like the top housing market in the country anymore. That, for example, perfect example, Amazon is going to have a second headquarters somewhere in the United States, and they're assuming that wherever these new headquarters are going to be, those will be the hottest housing markets now because everyone wants to work for Amazon, so people are going to want to live there. You see, that's the truth of the matter. But then you read the fucking headline, and the headline says, oh, housing market in Seattle tanks. And you read it, you're like, well, no, actually, if you look at the facts, that's not happening. But they got to make their drama headline to get people to fucking... It's just like YouTube videos. We got to make that clickbait title and that ridiculous thumbnail in order to get you to watch the fucking video, even though that's not even what the fucking thing actually is. You know what I mean? So there you go. Let's play the game.
Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, it's not as spicy as last year. To be perfectly honest with you, but don't worry, it can still pick up. You know, we're not completely out the woods yet. We're not out the woods yet, but let's see what Snort Burnell can bring to us. It'll be entertaining, as always, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with Snort Burnell, DsPgaming. I don't use polls as an excuse to skip games. Best excuse in the world to beg for money. Now, as you guys may or may not know, this right here applies towards him skipping out on Fallout 76, which, oh my god, that game is apparently hot garbage. Apparently. And he's skipping Battlefield. Now, if you guys are Fallout fans, though, there's a guy who I've been watching recently called OxHorn. I enjoy his content. I definitely enjoy his narration. He's a great talker. If I remember, I'll leave the link to his channel down below. He goes over Fallout lore. It's a really long watch, but it's something you can play in the background, and it's great. It's really, really, really great, and you'll learn a lot from it. But it's not boring. It's definitely entertaining as hell. So I'll leave the link down to that below if I remember to, and you can check that out if you need some Fallout to fix your Fallout fix for the time being. But from what I've heard and from what I've seen, Fallout 76 just seems empty. I guess that's the best way I can describe it to you. It just seems empty. All right, here we go.
Oh my god! What the fuck?
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude. And I have to warn everyone. Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
That cat was like, Piggy, you better have my money. Oh shit, that was godlike. That was great. Burnell's a genius. Absolutely amazing.
I like how you're laughing too.
Well, it's funny.
As of last night, we hit all of our subscriber goals for the month of November. Thanks for the money, dummies. I really do need the help right now. Please tip me.
And the reason being is because right now, financially, I'm broke. I mean that. I'm broke.
Really?
What happened is, over the summer, YouTube ad revenues plummeted for me because they took away my ads for 3 weeks. Then I changed my video format to longer videos. And it took quite a long time for my YouTube channel to kind of get back on its own feet. So I've been kind of behind on money ever since then. Now, in addition to that, as you guys know, I left my partnership on YouTube with Curse, so that made it so that my money was kind of not only decreased but staggered as well when I get paid. I used to get paid on the 10th of every month. Now I get paid on the 20th or later for YouTube. Now, in addition to all of that, Twitch, has been my main source of income for the past, many months since the summer. Basically, Twitch has taken over as my main source of income. And don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. Twitch has been great, but Twitch doesn't pay me until like the 15th of the month usually. And right now I'm in a pickle because almost all my bills clear before then. Like almost every single bill that I pay in the month clears between the 1st and the 13th. And it's really annoying because basically the way that I had things set up previously worked because my payments would come in and it's in tune with all of my bills and everything.
Now here's another thing too I just thought about. Cat's there too, yeah? So you tell me Cat can't float him for a couple days? Just to let him get by until his payment comes through, if that was really an issue? You telling me that if Phil wasn't in a desperate situation where he couldn't actually pay a bill or cover a bill, that he couldn't go to Kat and ask her for it? Where's her money going? Obviously, someone has to pay for the stable outside and everything in it, so you would think she's contributing something to it, yeah? Until the big payoff during the Christmas stream, which I feel like already that's going to be a disaster in itself. I don't know. I was just asking.
Now they don't. Now I get all my payments around the same exact time of the month, but then all my bills come through before.
And I'm like, shit, the money's not here yet. I need money. Well, I need money. I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills.
And this is what happened to me this week. All my bills came due. Twitch didn't pay me yet. And so I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Now I have no money.
I'm not your parent. A little sensitive sissy ninny. Little special snowflakes who've been pet and, protected by their parents all their lives.
So this sucks. It really does. It's no one's fault.
It's Tevin's fault. And that's absolutely correct, Android. You're right that if someone is illegally restreaming my stream, those are my views. You're right, they are. And hilarious that I do this for a living, right? And I make way more money than Tevin, even though I have way less viewers. Let's think about that for a second.
just a shitty situation with all the stuff that changed over the last few months in regards to the YouTube situation and everything that, you know, I'm in a tough time right now. I am, alright? So, if you want to help me out the most today, alright, the best way that you can help me is tipping me.
No. And then you people, Phil's a toxic streamer. No, you actually you tried to make me look like that.
Okay, I received an anonymous dollar tip. And they said, in regards to Fallout 76 and Battlefield 5, you can just say you don't want to play a game. In fact, it's probably better to do that than search for reasons not to play a game or try to make a poll come out negative for it. Number one, I never tried to make any poll come out negative for anything. I just put up polls to try to get public opinion, as I've explained many times. Number two, there's nothing about, oh, you have to find reasons to not play them because you don't want to play them. The reason I don't want to play them is because of reasons. I didn't wake up one morning and say, I just don't want to play Fallout 76, so fuck it, let me try to find 25 excuses not to play it. No, the reasons I don't want to play Fallout 76 are the things that I've stated. It's a co-op only game. That's the whole concept of it. Playing it solo probably isn't fun at all based on the way they designed it. It's going to be a game that has the gimmick of co-op, much like Destiny 2, The Division, and many other games. It'll be fun for a few sessions, like Destiny 2 was last year, and then after 3 sessions, I'll hate the game or be bored with it and not want to ever play it again. So why spend...
But that doesn't matter, though, because you would have made your money off of it anyway. Which is what you normally do. You play a game for a couple sessions, and then you drop it. So you're only going to play it until you make your money and then get the profit, and then make some profit off it. So who cares? It would have been just a normal... It's a normal day for you. I don't see where the issue is. And you do use the poll to duck games. You've done that before. There's been games that have won his polls, and he's purposely gone ahead and basically slide them off to the side just because until he played it at a later time and date. If he even ever got around to doing it. He's done that too. I mean, that's what he is. He's a fucking... Phil's always doing some shiesty shit for no goddamn reason. DSP News.
$60 on it, you know? I'm not going to sit here and say... Like, a lot of people have also criticized the game and said, oh, the shooting's not as good as Fallout 4, and it's the same assets of Fallout 4 and all that. I'm not going to criticize that because I haven't played the game to actually have those as valid criticisms, but the core premise of the game is something I'm not interested in. I don't want to just sit here and play a co-op only game.
When you have no life, when you have nothing positive going on for you, you take that time that you have nothing to do with, and you spend it doing negative shit instead. So instead of going out and seeking friends or hobbies or significant other, these people prefer to just sit and be miserable at home constantly and do negative shit to people on the internet. You know, it's pathetic and it's sad in a lot of ways, but that's life for some people, I guess.
I want to play a real fun Fallout game, and it doesn't seem like that's what this experience is. So why waste $60 on it for something I'm only going to play a few times? You know what I mean? Plus, I'm already playing a million other games. It was the same thing with Battlefield 5. I hated the beta.
If you don't want to pay for the game, Phil, fine. Ask somebody in your fan base to do it. Ask someone in the Pig Roach cult to go ahead and kick that money up. It wouldn't be the first time. It wouldn't be the last. It certainly won't be the last, I should say. So go ahead and make that happen. Come on, Phil. Don't act like you got some pride about this. You know what I'm saying? You slumped around in the mud long enough to know how to ask people for games. Go ahead and make it happen. Someone will send you a code for it. I don't know. I don't know why he's acting like he don't know how to get stuff done. It's not the bedroom or anything. DSP News.
The beta, and I was so fucking bored with it. I thought it was such a terrible, terrible attempt for them to say that they were making a new game when in reality this definitely was Battlefield 1 with a new skin on it. That's why I'm really not interested in playing it. It's not that I'm trying to find a poll to fucking justify it.
I know you're lying.
You know? But it's like I said, sometimes my polls will actually influence me. So here's a perfect example with Battlefield 5. If I put out a poll asking, should I play Battlefield 5? Alright? And if the poll said 95% yes, you should be playing Battlefield 5, what are you, crazy if you're not? Then maybe I would have been more skewed towards playing it. But the poll's pretty much split, where it's like kind of 50% of the people are saying don't play it, and 50% of the people are saying play it, or whatever. I'm like, well, if that's the case, then obviously there's really even not that much demand to even see it. So why the hell am I going to fucking buy this game and, you know, be bored with it? There's no point, you know? So that's where I get my reasoning. It's, you know, I swear to God, people just like...
Man, I'm stupid. I bought into a gimmick because I'm stupid.
They flip out over this shit. Oh my God, Phil held a poll on his Twitter and he didn't listen exactly to what the results said. Why'd he even hold the poll? Oh my God. People just look for reasons to complain. I mean, seriously.
Now, like I said, listen to this cuck. These people who complain are the same people who give their time and their money to him. And yet, they're all just whiny little bitches. Just give me your fucking money and shut the hell up. That's really what he wants to say to you guys. Just give him your money and shut up. Seriously. He doesn't even really care about games, if he ever really did. So, of course, some of you guys who donate your hard-earned money to him have some pushback on it. And he looks at you guys like, the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And he wonders why his fan base keeps dwindling. He wonders why the views on Twitch is constantly falling. You can blame Tevin for it all you want. But, to be honest, if they weren't going to Tevin, then they would just find someone else. And you're still going to lose. You're still losing. Because more and more people in his fan base are starting to wake the fuck up and realize, I have options. Dave isn't your end-all be-all. Look at the picture of Panda that's floating around. She looks great. So, you know, there's life after gout. You don't have to stick around. You really don't. Phil needs them more than they need Phil. It's taken a long time, apparently, for some of them. But some of them are realizing it. Good for them. I guess better sooner than later. DSP News. Or later than sooner.
You gotta realize that I'm going to have to probably not play every game. Okay? This is just being realistic here. This is 2018. And in 2018, there's many things going on. I have a life outside of streaming.
Fuck you. You're a liar.
And even though a lot of the times that life takes a backseat to me sitting here and streaming with you guys, because this is how I make my money, it still has to sometimes take priority. I have to have a day a week where I can spend it with my girlfriend. You know what I mean? I just have to have it for peace of mind and to have a healthy life and a healthy relationship. It has to happen. I can't be here every single day, all fucking day long. Okay? I just can't. Hodor Targ cheered, and it's when I.
But Phil, you're broke. You're broke, and bills don't wait. Bills don't wait on nobody. You either come through with that bread or stuff gets turned off. Just saying. So you keep talking about all this quality time with your girlfriend. Doing what? Going where? And spending what imaginary money that you don't have on what? Just saying.
Like this. It's hard to see if this guy's being serious or not, or if he's trying to be facetious. I'm going to read what he said. Let's see what you guys think. He says, sad to hear that Twitch forgot to pay you. Now, I never even said that. That's not what happened at all. But, you know, he's spinning it in a way to make it sound silly. Can you describe a little bit how tough it is living paycheck to paycheck? Even though I'm a poor student, I still got financial reserves. People don't realize adults like you who make decent money have tons of financial obligations which drag them down. Yeah. The bottom line is, even though I make good money...
And so now I can just turn on a webcam and immediately guys just throw me money with zero effort. And obviously it's not even quality, it's just exploiting, right? It's exploitation is the real word for it, I guess.
That money immediately goes out to everything. Like, and this year has been rough for me because this year, financially, things kind of went sour. And it's not like, for example, oh, I wasn't making good money. It was everything else. Like, all the credit card companies who I have credit cards with doubled their minimum payments. Because if you guys didn't hear in the news, because of everything going on in the government and everything, I definitely don't want to get into political discussion here. But basically, interest rates went up this year. So all credit card rates went up. And credit card companies freaked and said, oh shit, we've got to make sure that people are paying enough to pay down their credit cards. So basically, all my minimum payments doubled on my credit cards this year.
What?
So I'm not even exaggerating here. Probably more than $1,000 a month that I used to make. That used to be, oh, save this. This goes towards taxes, or this goes towards a fund.
Actually, you know what's funny? I just thought about this, by the way. There's always been this. This frame of thought. Okay, of what is it? What does it cost Phil each month to keep Panda quiet? Bear with me on this for a minute. Okay, so if you guys aren't familiar with this, when Panda left, she never came out and said what was going on. Now, granted, that could be just decency. That could be just human decency. That could be the one aspect of her that still loves him. Whatever the case may be. I'm sure SOK would have paid God knows whatever it would have cost to get her out there and not get her out there, but get her onto their show and get an exclusive. They would have definitely dropped money for that. For sure. There's a lot of people who still will. But here's the question. Panda is basically has the keys to Camelot, right? She knows all of the dirty little secrets because she was knee deep in it. You know what I'm saying? Fuck knee deep. She was up to her neck in it. So the frame of thought was, oh, well, what did Phil have to give her to keep her quiet? Some people say he bought her a car. Some people say he owes her like a monthly stipend. Who knows? But if, and this goes out to anybody who wants to answer the question. If Phil offered you money, if you were Panda, and Phil offered you a certain amount of money each month to keep your mouth shut, what would it be? Yeah, I want to. Yeah. I want to know that. I want to know that, and then we might post some comments in the next video or the video after. Yeah. That might be cool. So, how much would it cost you guys, ladies and gentlemen, to keep your silence? Silence is golden, as they say. So, what's the value? What's the value of your silence to keep from keeping Phil's dirty little secrets coming out? And let's go ahead and add on to that question. How much would it cost for you to go ahead and spill your guts on everything that was out there that Phil's ever done? How much would it cost? So how much is it for you to keep quiet? Okay, you know what I'm saying? Silence is golden. How much is it to keep you quiet? And how much silver are you willing to take in to give up everything? Judas kiss, if you will. I'm looking forward to that one. This might be fun. DSP News. DSP News.
Money for something is now blown frivolously on credit card payments.
Obviously.
And there's nothing I can do about that. I don't have money to pay off my credit cards. So, this is money that I used to easily have flexibility, and it's gone. Just gone like that. In an instant. Fucking gone. All of my taxes went up this year. Not my income tax, but everything else. Property tax and the like, everything went up this year.
$1 a month actually helps and adds up, alright? As little as $1 helps, okay? Ayúdame, por favor. Es muy importante. I need your help. I still need your help. I'm gonna need your guys' help. I really am. I'm gonna need your support. I need it. Pledge today.
A lot of stuff went up. Insurance. My insurance payments all went up this year. There's things behind the scenes that you guys don't realize. Especially, let me put it this way.
You mean insurance that you don't use? Because Phil said that. Phil said that he pays I don't know what he pays. I think he said he pays like $250, $300 a month for insurance. And he says he never uses it because he doesn't have the money to use it. You have the money to make the insurance payments, but you don't have the money to use it. Oh, wow. That sucks so bad. Now, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. He's never going to be financially secure or independent. Not until he loses his parents, sadly. And even then, he'll fuck that up. He's never, ever going to learn. And you would think for someone who goes through these financial situations every year that I've watched Phil, he's gone through some dumb shit. And he never learns. And it just gradually gets worse and worse. He'll never be financially independent. Ever. It's just not in the cards for him. It really isn't. Because when things are good, that part of his head that tells him, Phil, dark, save it. Nah, that shit gets shut off immediately. It just shuts off immediately. He runs around wilding the fuck out, getting everything that his little gout-ridden heart desires. But then, after he's gone ahead and flashed all his new shit, you know what I'm saying? After he said, oh, I needed all these things for the business, then all of a sudden, guys, I really need you guys to sub, I really need you guys to tip, I really need you guys to go to Patreon, I really need you guys to donate, I really need your help, guys. I really do. I'm really, gives you 20 different goddamn excuses on what's going on, gives you 20 more goddamn excuses on why he can't get a job, and gives you guys 10 reasons on why if you guys don't help him and you don't help his business stay afloat, not even thrive, but stay afloat, not even stabilize, stay afloat, why this is all going to go away. He's going to go away with it. If you're a DSP fan, is it even worth it at this point? Does it really mean a goddamn thing if he goes away? Are you guys really going to hurt that bad? Seriously? Most of you guys are watching Tevin on the low key anyway. DSP News. Or Theo.
If you guys are young, okay? If you guys are young, enjoy it. Because when I was young, I had very little financial obligations anywhere. Whatever money I made pretty much got saved up for whatever I wanted to spend it on. If I wanted to go on a trip to go play Street Fighter, I would go fly across the country and go play Street Fighter in a tournament.
I myself am a former pro fighting game player. I am a former professional fighting game player in the capacity, not that I did it for a living. I was a high-level tournament player, 4th place at EVO, top player of Street Fighter 2 that year overall in the country. And then after that, years I had won, qualifiers, various qualifiers for EVO, and, done pretty good in tournaments overall in Street Fighter 2 over the years.
If I wanted to save up to buy something nice for myself, a game system, clothes, whatever, I had the capability of doing that. I don't even have that anymore. Like, it's funny because some people, they watch a stream and they'll be like a really good stream where people are very positive and contributing a lot. Wow, Phil just made a ton of money and this is amazing. He's going to go out and really, treat himself for the holidays. Like, no, that goes right towards my bills. And, that's just the situation I'm in, Now, behind the scenes, I am trying a few things to see if I can make things better. Because right now, as you guys know, I don't really bother you with my financial stuff these days. Last year, this seemed like the whole fucking year was just financials, and I don't want to bother you in 2018 with that kind of shit constantly. So I haven't really talked about it recently. But we're coming towards the end of the year here, and I basically am in a really tough situation where I don't have money for taxes.
That's your fault. You're the one who created that economic situation. That's your fault. You created that business model. You created a flawed business model, and now you're saying there's nothing you could do about it? No, it's your business. You created the monster, you unleashed the monster, and now your complaint is, well, the monster's too powerful to control. Well, fuck you. That's your fault. You're the one who's causing the problem here. You. Yes, you. I don't know how you can't see that you're the problem. I did nothing wrong. I did everything correct.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, as long as he lives by that mindset that I did nothing wrong, I did everything correct, and it's the world conspiring against me, it's the reason why he's going to fail. And he knows it. He knows it as he understands the color of the sky in the few times that he goes outside. As he knows it almost as well as I know it, that every time he looks at Kat is plotting her escape. He knows it, as he knows every time he turns on that fucking piece of shit laptop or that desktop, knowing Phil, he has both, and he sees that picture of Panda with the side boob, that he probably wrecked one of the best things he had going on in his life. He knows it. It's as right as rain, and he knows it. And he'll never live it down. But I'll say, you're not even a gamer anymore, Phil. You spend more time bitching and complaining about all of your faults than you even playing the game anymore. Every game is bad. Every game is garbage. Every game is not good. And the games that are good are the games that you like, but they don't get any views. So either A, the games are garbage, B, you're garbage, or C, you playing those games makes the game garbage. It has to be something. Everything this man touches turns to shit. And people on Twitter sometimes think I'm joking when I say that. No, I mean that. Everything he touches turns to shit. Look at his friends, look at his family, look at his relationships, look at his business, look at everything. It's garbage. If YouTube went and did a purge of dead channels, which they're actually periodically doing that, by the way. If you guys are YouTubers, you can check I think there's like a thing for your analytics where you can actually see that. But if they purge dead channels, Phil's gonna be hurt. He's gonna be kinda hurt. I think he's at like 183,000 subs. Or it's 186. For some reason, it keeps fluctuating by 3,000 every time I look at it. It keeps making me wonder that he's buying subs like a Monday Matt, but maybe not. He's broke. He can't do that. But if they ever purge some of those dead channels, Phil's fucked. Phil is royally fucked. But I don't even think that matters to him anymore. I think it's for Phil. As long as he's at 100,000, he's cool. He doesn't have to be like Monday Matt and panic and try to buy 10, 15,000 subs to try to stay face and still lose. Dspnews.
My depression. It's Tevin's fault.
And I'm basically trying to do a few things to see if there's something I can do about that. Whether it means borrowing more fucking money or refinancing or doing things behind the scenes here,
But it's tough.
How are you going to do that though, Phil? You have no collateral. You have nothing to barter with. You have nothing of value outside of your house, and even then, you owe so much on the house that no one will really touch you. Hence the reason why you can't refinance your house now anyway. You've already said that. What else do you have to serve up? The last thing you need to be doing, dumbass, is trying to get more loans, to incur more debt, that you can't pay off. The banks already know that. Why can't you see it? That's why no one will loan to you. And you can say, oh, it's my credit score, this, that, and the third. I've heard stories of people who have a credit score of like 600, 650, and still can get loans, can still get this, can still get that. Which is, you would think it's kind of insane to think about, but it happens. But you, Phil, are just fucking upside down on pretty much everything. It would be foolish for any bank to stick their neck out for you. It would be foolish. And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand all this. He incurred all this debt over. Oh, I'm sorry. He incurred. Oh, I'm sorry. Give me a second. Just a second. Oh my god. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, he incurred all of this debt around a YouTube channel. Around a YouTube channel. Not even a real business. Not a brick and mortar. Not a food truck. You know what I'm saying? Not a real online business. Around a YouTube channel. A YouTube channel. I can't. I'm gonna go DsPnews.
Stuff. Like right now, I'm being honest with you guys. I have no money. My bank account is empty. Unbelievable.
And I don't have money in there again until Twitch pays me. Twitch did not pay me late. Twitch usually pays me around the 15th of the month. It's like I said, it used to be all my payments came in early in the month. I used to get Patreon, I used to get YouTube, and everything would come in within 3 or 4 days at the beginning of the month. YouTube usually came in around the 10th of the month. So all my payments would come at the beginning of the month. Now this year, my Patreon declined dramatically because I made a focus on streaming, not on Patreon. So I used to make a certain amount on Patreon. I make about half as much now. So that number one, that's a massive decline right there of money that I used to get early in the month. I don't. Now YouTube's paying me late in the month. They're paying me like the 20th or 25th or something when they used to pay me on the 10th. So all the money's coming in much later than it used to, but all my bills are due the same time. So it's screwing me over when it comes to timing. It's not the money, it's the timing of the money that screws me over. And the thing that really gets me about all of this, okay, is the fact that overdrafting in a bank account destroys you. Every time my bank account gets overdrafted, it's a $35 fee. And already I can tell you, it's probably happened about twice already this month. So just think about that. That adds up, you know. If it happens, you know, a bunch of times, you're talking hundreds of dollars of fees. And I just don't have the money for it. You know what I mean? Like, even though I could be making good money, which I am, I owe it all to other people. So it immediately comes in and goes right the fuck back out. And it sucks. It could really feel sometimes like there's a weight on my shoulders that, you know.
All right, guys, I'm really sorry about that last exchange that we had, but you a hoe. You a hoe, Phil. You're a real hoe. I mean, you make all this money, but it goes to somebody else. That make you a hoe. That makes you a hoe. The moment the Johns, which are your fan base, Phil, give you the money. Give you the money, you have to pay that to somebody else. You a hoe! Oh my god, you a hoe! Oh, I wish I had a soundboard so I could put Riley on that shit. Oh my god. Actually, can I find an online soundboard? Hey Kevin, get on that for me. I need to find one. Yeah, we need to do that. Oh my god. You a hoe, Phil. You a hoe. That's so sad. He's literally the definition of living hand to mouth. Oh my god, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tighten up. That's literally the definition of living hand to mouth. Literally. He owns nothing, he has nothing, and he depends on other people. I don't know about you, but I don't care how successful you think Phil is or was or whatnot. It'd probably be best just to get a job. I'm just saying. Yeah, you got to answer to somebody else for a while, Phil. It's the way of the world. You know what I'm saying? You might be able to, you know, scheme around it and shit and suck up to enough people that might get you into a position of power. Maybe. Then again, you'd probably end up screwing it up in no time anyway. That, and Lord knows you need to leave the house so, you know, Cat can, instead of having Cat go to the gym to be with Jim, Cat brings Jim home. That would probably be bad. Not that you would catch them though. I would hope she's smarter than that. But then again, she did get caught cheating with you. Horse stealing is a hard job, but somebody got to do it. DSP News.
We're gonna get out of this situation.
I may be living month to month, paycheck to paycheck, begging for fucking tips and shit on stream for the rest of my life. And I love it. I love doing this for a living.
And it sucks because sometimes when it looks like I'm doing good, then all of a sudden something else happens, right? Last year in particular, things were looking great, and then we had the whole tax situation with the state. That screwed me over. That cost me, no lie, by the time that was done, the whole state taxes situation that was fucked up, probably cost me about $5,000, you know, out of nowhere by the end of it. Because basically it was so bad, man. It was just like, not only did I have to figure out how to pay the state taxes, then I had to pay the fucking accountant so much money. He billed me so much money for his work. It was insane. And guess where that went? Right onto the credit cards. Because I didn't have $5,000 lying around, so it went right to the credit card. See what I mean? If you're young, enjoy it. Seriously. Enjoy the life you have. Enjoy the freedom before you get tied down in all kinds of financial shit. You know, and just do the most with your young life while you can before you get tied up in all this kind of crap. Alright?
Name is Sheikh Zula, the Mike Ruler, the old schooler. You want a trip? I'll bring it to ya. Right, rockin' a coke, cock, blockin' like a breaking out now. Meet why get the money, see? Meet why get the honeys, G. Driving in my car, looking like a star. I see fingers in my toes and I'm a toss. Yo, check it, yo. Cause we are the Aqua Teens, make the homies wanna low and the girls wanna scream. Aqua Teen Hunger Force, #1 in the hood, G. Yeah.
Tazariel cheered. He says, dude, get rid of your condo. Stop saying you can't. You absolutely can't. Taking a bath and losing on it is better than just paying for it and for nothing. Wrong. Absolutely wrong, Tazariel. So here's the deal with the condo in Connecticut. I can't get rid of it. I still owe around $100,000 on it.
Okay, where's the evidence? Present evidence of what you're saying.
Yeah, at the most I could sell for it is around $60,000. I don't have $40,000 to pay off the rest of the mortgage. Okay, I don't. So legally I can't do that. If I were to just stop paying the mortgage, okay, it could probably take years, and I mean years, for them to say, the bank say, oh, he's not paying it, let's foreclose on it and try to take this condo from him. This would be years of them destroying my credit. And by the way, my credit would then probably be destroyed for about 8 years after that. Meaning if I ever needed credit for anything, I don't have it. And by the way, if my credit tanked, all my credit cards and everyone would probably cancel them. So that's stuff, liquidity that I need in order to operate the business that I wouldn't have anymore, because everything would be canceled. I wouldn't have and be able to use any kind of credit whatsoever. So it would ruin me financially if I were to just stop paying the condo. Oh, by the way, in addition, if I were somehow by some miracle be able to sell the condo, let's say I convinced my mortgage company somehow to take $60,000 for something that I owe $100,000 on. Guess what? They tax that like income. So let's say I sold that condo for $60,000 and I just use it to pay the mortgage and we're done. Guess what? I would then, later on that year, have to pay money as if I made $60,000 profit. So yeah, that would be considered $60,000 extra income on top of what I made that year. Can you imagine the additional taxes I would owe the federal government for that? And by the way, that's money I wouldn't have, because the money would go.
It wouldn't matter. You'd beg for. Well, see, there you go. You'd beg for the money. You'd beg for the money anyway. So who cares? The piggies need to step up. Remember, North Goutopia, Twitch is great. So they'll supply the liquidity so you can make shit happen. Pure and simple. They'll get the funds up. So you make it sound like it's such a big deal, but it really isn't. And you have to pay taxes on just about everything, Phil. Like, I don't know why this is so hard for you to figure out. I understand that you jumped from one state to another to damn near committing tax evasion. I understand you tried to do that dumb shit, Phil, but it caught up to you. It catches up to everybody. At least the people who aren't honest about it anyway. Or smarter. Dspnews.
Mortgage off. It's not like I would have $60,000 in my pocket, yet the government would still charge me taxes on that. Like I made profit when I didn't. So I am completely 100% stuck with that fucking condo, and can't get rid of it, okay, at all. And it sucks. It's a shitty situation, okay. Basically, the way I see it now, I've now owned that condo for about 10 years. I bought it in 2009. So now when I make my mortgage payments, it's going to start going more towards the principal than the interest, okay? A lot of you have no idea what I'm talking about, and that's okay. But basically, in the next few years, the more I pay that condo, the more it's going to pay down what I owe. And I'm hoping within, say, 5 to 8 more years, I'll finally have paid it off enough that now I can sell it for the equal amount and get rid of it, okay? I hope. I really fucking hope. So we'll see, all right? We'll see. We'll see what happens. But no, there's nothing I can do with that condo, and anyone who thinks I can, you're basically incredibly uninformed. and you don't know what you're talking about, okay? Alright, Hodar Tark cheered. He says, in no way did I mean to be any kind of a spin doctor, okay? Alright, well, fair enough. He says, I thought you get money in the middle of the month, and Twitch was just late in a rare instance. I mean, they're not late at all. Like I said, they're not late. At all. So, it's not an issue of, oh, they're late, or anything like that. It's an issue of, basically, since all of my money that comes in changed since the summer, because like I said, I'm not partnered with Curse anymore. When I would get paid around the 10th of the month. That now doesn't happen. Now I get paid later in the month from YouTube. So that was one major payment that I used to get. That used to be earlier. That's much later. Oh, by the way, that payment when it comes in is way less now because YouTube revenue has really, bottomed out ever since the summer when all that crap happened to my YouTube channel. So it's like a double whammy. Not only am I getting paid later, I'm getting paid less.
I think my morals are what make me an easy target in a lot of ways. I'm serious about that. Like, I do. I think that my morals have held me back from further success over the years. That's all just white noise. You know what I mean? It's just white noise.
And I haven't recovered from that. I'm not even into a set schedule that works right now where, all my bills are clearing properly. No, every month I'm basically, you guys are contributing, and as tips and stuff come in, I'm shuffling money around to my bank account, and I'm shuffling money here and there to try to get money into position to pay everything, and it hasn't evened out yet, Quite frankly, I don't know if and when it will, without me doing some other kind of action behind the scenes, like I said, trying to refinancing and stuff like that. I don't know how it's going to, because every month now, everything's fluctuating everywhere. It's pretty crazy, okay? Do you want to play the fucking game? Tazariel has no idea what he's talking about, yet still insists that he knows my entire life situation and thinks that he could solve all my problems for me.
These are the kind of people that are frustrating. The know-it-alls. I know everything about everything.
And I know that you could have a better situation. You don't know jack. You don't know anything. You don't know about my personal situation. You don't know my credit score. You don't know how much debt I have. You don't know anything about the housing market in Connecticut. You know nothing.
Oniony, salty aftertaste in my mouth. All I can taste is the saltiness.
But you think you're know-it-all, and just because you think you have a little bit of fucking knowledge about something, you think that you know everything, man. You gotta relax. You gotta relax and just understand, the things I reveal to you guys is very honest and open. I'm not making shit up.
Silver-tongued talker, right? Oh, I'm just gonna say it one way, and hopefully you'll believe it, even though that's not the truth. And that's literally what's happening here. The guy's a liar. The guy's a fucking blatant liar, and lying to everyone. But people are believing it because they don't know any better.
And I'm not spitting shit. I'm just being very real with you guys. And a lot of people don't like that. My God, why would Phil spend today's pre-stream talking about this stuff? Because someone asked, And that's why, But that's why I don't go on and on and on about this shit constantly. I'm not going to, It's a waste of everyone's time for me to be constantly harping on it. I know last year, like I said, last year was a year that was real shitty because I had a state back taxes situation and all that shit going on. And it was not very pretty, and that's why this year, even though financially this year things have been very rough for me, I haven't been sharing that information with you guys because I don't want to inundate you with that shit constantly. You know what I mean? But, being a know-it-all like that doesn't help anything. Oh, I just know that Phil could be doing things better, but he just refuses to do it. Are you?
Let's give Phil a break for just a second because all that stuttering started to get on my nerves. Not really. Yeah, it's getting on my nerves. First things first, Phil, you didn't throw all this information at them earlier on in the year because you saw what happened for Thanksgiving and for Christmas. Like, if you guys saw the Thanksgiving stream he did, for example, he was literally trying to run off stream because of all the money that they were giving him, and I think he felt nervous about it. And then on Christmas, you saw how he did. He sat there and showed his ass, literally praying to the dollar, praying to the almighty dollar, and whatnot for everything he has. Speaking of which, no one has really been able to verify, nor has Phil verified, that he actually received that $1,000 tip on Christmas Day, which some people believe he just did it he did it for himself. He just tipped it to himself to try to get the ball rolling. Some people also feel that he actually screwed himself by doing that because a lot of fans were looking at it and like, oh, well, he just got $1,000, man. I don't need to throw no real money at him. Phil's already has $1,000. Yet again, that broke Jedi mind tricks may have come back to hurt him in the end, because why would you do that, Phil? You do that towards the middle of the stream or towards the end of the stream. You thought donating $1,000 to yourself, if he did, so we'll say allegedly, was going to drum up enough confidence so more people could do it. You probably should have started off with like $50, maybe. just to get the ball rolling. That might inspire enough confidence for people to do it, but not $1,000, dumbass. In any case, that's Phil's greed getting the best of him. That's Phil thinking he's a know-it-all, and he knows how to manipulate people, and he has people all figured out. Came back to bite him, you know, same shit. Phil taking a little bit of information and whatnot, and thinking that he had the whole scheme written out. It all comes back to bite him in some way, shape, or form. And all of it's unnecessary. And yet the moron still feels the need to do it. It's astounding. DSP News.
I mean, that's nuts. Yes, you're right. There's so many ways things could be better, but I just refuse. You're right. I refuse to have a better situation for myself. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh my god, these people. Anyway, let's continue.
This kind of shit needs to come out. This kind of shit needs to be exposed for what it is. It's greed. It's greed. Greed is massively strong. I have no fucking self-control. Like, I mean, talk about greed and talk about not caring about your customer base. It's ridiculous. It really is.
T-Dubs just cheered and said, sorry you have to deal with this. Let's be clear. You say, not playing Fallout 76, fan of the franchise, it's a cash grab, and a co-op will fade. It's least worth $60, and you're skipping it. You said all that in one single tweet. I don't understand why people aren't satisfied with that answer. You could have just said not playing it and not sharing my reason, but you know they would just move the goalpost. That's right. If I didn't give a justification for not playing a game, then I can tell you exactly, okay? I can tell you right now, what the deal is.
People would say, oh, Phil doesn't justify anything. He's really shooting himself in the foot. He doesn't listen to the fans, and he's not playing what we want to see. Therefore, he's a dinosaur, and he doesn't listen to feedback. See, he's a hypocrite. He said he listens. He doesn't listen. You're not a real gamer.
That's what happens. That you're right. They move the goalpost. Do one thing. Oh, that's not good enough. Do another thing. Oh, you did. You know, why are you trying to justify not playing these games? Just say, just don't play them. What the hell is going on?
I got no friggin' horse. No horse and no money.
Third Eye the Third just cheered. He said, I feel bad for Kekken and what's happening in his stream right now. You know who set his sights on him and is stealing his content now. Oh boy. Oh boy.
If anything, that just goes to show the guy's a scumbag. He does it to anyone. It's not just, oh, I'm trying to prove a point by stealing Phil's content. No, he'll do it to anyone because he's a fucking no-talent loser. Sorry for fucking what? You think I'm the villain? Go fuck yourself. Help! No. 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 That's not how life works. What pasta do you prefer? I prefer a penne. Oh! Easy to eat. Oh! Phil's a fag.
I actually tuned in a little bit to the Kekken stream, or Kekken, whatever he calls it. I actually went ahead and tuned in on that. It was all right. He certainly talked a whole lot more than Phil did, to be honest. And I think he had other people on stream too, so that was entertaining. You know, it is what it was. It wasn't anything special. You know what I'm saying? It's way easier to troll him. Well, no, Phil. It's still easier to troll Phil, but I feel like the other guy is just a little bit more passive with it. I don't know. It was alright. Alright, let's continue, and then we'll get into the next video in the broadcast.
Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a beggar. Phil's a racist. Phil's a scammer. DSP's a pedophile. DSP is a thief. DSP is a greedy fuck.
This is how to play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Oh my god.
I actually missed that intro. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go back. Okay? We are here with, first off, it's November 3rd, 2017. Here with Snort Burnell, DsPgaming, health problems, 1 year, 1 year beggatry on Twitch. Oh my god. Patreon goal was not reached. And Patreon goal was not reached, sorry. Like I said, this was all from November 3rd, 2017. Here we go.
Sound good? I'm not even exaggerating. If anything is like seriously wrong ever happened with my health, I'd have to open a GoFundMe.
I don't even know what else I would do. Because I have, nothing I can do. Or, because here's the thing. Some people say, well, sell the house. Yeah, but if I sell the house, now you're putting me under even more stress, right? What if I have something seriously wrong with me, and I should be relaxing and trying to recuperate, but now I got to try to figure out how to sell the house and sell everything in the house and move across the country. You know what I mean? It's not viable. It's not going to happen. So that's kind of the shitty situation I'm in right now because of our government. Thank you very much.
I'm not a whiny baby.
Seriously, thanks so much, government. I really appreciate that both Democrats and Republicans are so busy nitpicking and arguing with each other and calling each
Thanks, Aunt. You can throw her in there, too. Not telling me about the diabetes that I inherited. Oh, he's such a pathetic individual. He really is. God damn. Have some morals, Phil. The woman died. So stop blaming her for all your problems.
their names like little 5-year-old children, that they get absolutely nothing done in our government anymore. It's just, they shouldn't even go. They should just stay home, and that way save all of our taxpayer dollars that pay their salaries, so that we could just fucking just get on with our lives, because they don't do anything. What the fuck have they done? Nothing. Nothing's gotten done. They just deadlock each other. So it's both sides' fault, and it's funny, because there's some things I'll agree with the Democrats, there's some things I'll agree with the Republicans, and there's some things I disagree with both sides. In this case, healthcare, both sides have miserably failed. Both.
I have no fucking self-control. Why am I toxic? So that's the deal, folks. That's why I wasn't here yesterday. I'm back today. I'll do my best. I'm going to have physical pain in my neck. There's nothing I can do about it. It sucks. I'm hoping that over the next couple days, the swelling and pain will go down. And hopefully, I'll be back to normal, because I have many, many new games to cover for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, today is the 1-year anniversary of me returning to Twitch. That's right, it was 1 year ago when, per your feedback, I made the decision to bite the bullet and come back to Twitch TV and start streaming here again. After streaming on YouTube for 2 years and literally getting nothing whatsoever out of it. I made no ad revenue on the streams at all that was significant. I, didn't get any new notoriety or anything from it. It was really a joke, honestly. It was fan service. And trying to buy into their YouTube gaming bullshit, which was complete nonsense and didn't help anybody. I decided to come back to Twitch. And boy, was that a
Okay, let's break that down for just a second. So you were on the platform for 2 years, didn't get any notoriety, didn't make any money off it, did it for fan service, yet wasn't your Patreon linked to that? So, as it was linked to most of, if not everything you did on YouTube, so you were getting your little $12.50 to do certain events on there, were you not? If I remember correctly. But anyway, that doesn't matter. That's semantics. So, you were on there for 2 years, fan service, didn't make any money, yada, yada, yada. So now you decided to drag your ass back to Twitch. Uh-huh. Now, why did it take you 2 years to do that? Like, from a business standpoint, I mean, if it's not effective within the first, 6 months, I guess, you should know better. I mean, are they not willing to follow you back to Twitch? They did before. Oh, that's right. You ain't sat there and shitted on... Sorry, you ain't sat there and shitted on Twitch super goddamn hard. And it would have made you look like a hypocrite if you didn't actually put any real time into YouTube to try to make it work. Or at least make it seem like you were making it work before going back. Gotcha. Okay, no problem. No problem. Forgot the piggy tail has to be kind of... Has to roast a little bit before you can eat it. No problem. Cannibalism.
Decision. Let me tell you. Folks. Whew. Because if I weren't here, that would have been the end of me. Last year in February, when the bubble broke and YouTube lost all their advertisers and everything, I would have been gone forever. I would have been like, well, I'm done. I'm screwed. I probably would have lost my house. I would have had to either try to find a cheap place, or more than likely I would have had to quit everything, sell the house, and move back to Connecticut, and I wouldn't even be doing this right now. Because I would be making 50% less money than I was previously. I probably would have had to move back to Connecticut, and then with the profits of selling this house, just rode it out for a few months till I found a shitty job there, and my life would have sucked. So, thank God that you guys and gals, alright, convinced me to come back to Twitch. You saved my ass. Even though we didn't know what was going on. We had no idea that there was impending doom on YouTube with their ads. We didn't know that. But it just worked out somehow. I don't know how this keeps happening, because this happened to me multiple times during the course of me doing YouTube for a living, is that something happens, we make a change, and then somehow it was a good thing we did the change, because then something happened horrible, right? So, thank all of you to welcome me back. Thank all of you to convince me.
Like I said, I call it the devil's luck. But so this is where he was at a year ago. You know what I'm saying? A year ago, he was riding by the seat of his goddamn pants because he's an idiot. You know what I mean? He hasn't been kicked off. Were you kicked off of Machinima yet? Oh, I don't think you were kicked off of Machinima just yet. I don't think. Oh, no, yeah. He's been kicked off because this was November of last year. Yeah, he's already been kicked off of there, which is the whole reason why he ended up going to Twitch in the first place. So my bad. Okay, there we go. We're getting it together. We're getting it together. So you've already been kicked off of Machinima at this point, right? You sat there and you were basically sloshing it around for a little while and whatnot, trying to figure out what you were going to do, looking for a new MCN and shit, looking to suck off anybody who was willing to give you a shot, end up getting honey-dicked. That was funny. And yet again, SOK ended up pulling him out of that situation. If the SOK never had done that podcast, who knows what would have happened. And the two other podcasts that came after it. If they had never done that, he'd have been fucked. He'd have been royally screwed because no one in his fan base would have done the footwork to try to figure out what the deal was. So yet again, he owes the SOK on that one. And like I said, it being fortunate that you came back to Twitch when you did, that really wasn't the case. You had no choice. Which leads back to what I've been saying since I've been doing videos, is why didn't you go ahead and just go back to Twitch like when the initial problems with Adpocalypse happened? Instead of you being a fucking dumbass and trying to, not even strong hoof fucking Machinima into fucking giving you more money even though they didn't have the money to give. You could have just went back to Twitch. I've always firmly sat on the platform, if you will, that if he would have just, when shit was going to hell at Machinima, which I think Phil said at one time, he was like, his ad revenue was at like 30% or 33%, some nonsense like that. He should have just gone back to Twitch. He should have just gone back to Twitch and just wrote it out on Machinima. Who knows how long Machinima would have kept him? Because eventually they probably would have purged him. But he would have at least ridden out, all of 2017. He might have been there for most of 2018. Oh, no. Hell no. Because he was with, I'm sorry, let me get this back together. He was with Curse for like a year and a half. He got dropped from Curse like middle of this year. So yeah, he must have gotten dropped from... Yeah, so he must have gotten dropped from Machinima in like 2000... Like what? Mid-2016? Mid-late 2016? I think is when Adpocalypse happened. I'm gonna have to verify that. I think you guys know what I'm talking about though. So either which way. Yeah, I think that was when it happened. I think I'm actually right. I'll have to look just to be on the safe side though. Yeah, he really screwed himself. Goddamn. Like I said, when the whole shit with Machinima happened, he should have just went back. He should have just gone back to Twitch, sucked up his pride, and just went back there. And he probably would have been okay, at least for a few more years. And then he could have gone to Curse. Now, keep in mind, this is all hindsight at this point, but he could have ridden that wave a little bit longer. But for whatever reason, he really thought he had enough stroke, no pun intended, that he could just go ahead and bully Machinima and they would put him in position. And it didn't happen. It just didn't happen. And how he continues to get lucky is subjective. Like, for example, when he got dropped from Machinima, eventually other people did the footwork so he could eventually go to Curse. And he should have never left Curse because he said he was making way more money with Curse than he was with Machinima. It was like a 90-10 split over there. So he was walking with the majority of his money, way more than what he was doing on Machinima. But Machinima, he had the managed partnership. So there was more money to be made with their protection than even with Curse, in my own personal opinion. I don't know. He just doesn't sound like someone who's very business savvy, if you think about it. DSP News.
Come back. You guys are really the reason I'm here. Still, honestly, alright?
Some people are just fucking idiots. What else can I say? You gotta be an idiot. I don't understand what they were thinking.
As of Tuesday, which was the Halloween Horror Marathon, I had hit the highest number of subscribers ever, subsequent, like at one time. Yes, so, I had hit, boom, this big milestone. And pretty awesome that I did. Very appreciative of that. All right.
Give their money, give their money. Then that's all I care about. I got paid for your stupidity.
Okay, guys, sorry. I want to do some verification really, really fast, and Kenny came through on the clutch. Yeah, he ended up getting dropped from Machinima in 2017. So I was right. It was in the year that we're watching, because he actually had his 6 years with Machinima ups and downs, bizarre end, April 14th of 2017. I think he got dropped in like February or March. So I'm right. Okay, I just wanted to make sure though. We actually need to go over this video, by the way. I don't know. We'll save that for Gout and Wine. All right. Anyway, I'm sorry, guys. I just wanted to make sure I had that verified though. Dspnews.
Thanks for the money, dummies. The other thing I want to talk about is Patreon, ladies and gentlemen, because I do want to be honest with you. We did not hit the funding goal for October.
And although a few more people did kind of step up and pledge last minute, it wasn't enough. We were way under. I mean, it was about $200. We were under the goal, all right? So what I'm doing is I'm reevaluating Patreon at this point. Because here's what I think has happened, all right? I think that a lot of people who used to be ongoing Patreon supporters of mine have said, well, Phil has pretty much given up on having a YouTube focus. And therefore, you know, we're more focused on streams. We want to watch him on stream. We want to support him on stream. So we go and we cheer and we sub and we tip. And none of that counts towards Patreon, which kind of sucks because, there are people who've done a lot of tipping and they help me out tremendously, but that doesn't count towards like a Patreon goal or whatever. And they're like, well, that sucks. I want to do this. I'd rather do the streaming. And that's why Patreon has kind of suffered for it. So there's a few things I'm looking to do. Sadly, I don't think one of them is going to work. What I wanted to do was I wanted to integrate Patreon into my streaming, meaning if you subbed or pledged to my Patreon, that there would be like a pop-up message on stream to do that, to thank you for it, because then at least the patrons would also be getting immediate shout-outs, and maybe it would convince some people to pledge who otherwise wouldn't. But there's no way to do that. I looked it up, and it doesn't exist. Yeah, it sucks. There's no way to link Patreon. Like, you can link Patreon with Muxy, and Muxy will track pledges, but Muxy will not do pop-up messages for pledges. So that's out of the consideration for some reason. I don't know why they don't do that. I would think they would, but they don't. Which sucks. That's number one. Number two, what I'm looking to do is, how can I say it? I'm looking to have it so that Patreon will tie in with stream events.
So that you could all send me money.
So let me give you an example. Maybe what I'll do is this. We could do a dual event celebration. So for example, let's say, now this is a hypothetical. Now this is not actually what's going to happen. Hypothetical. For the month of January, if we hit a certain number of subscribers here on Twitch, let's say I really want to motivate people to sub. So if we hit 300 subscribers on Twitch, I will do a special celebratory event in February. Well, I don't know what it would be yet. It's just hypothetical. But if you pledge $5 or more to my Patreon in January, you'll be nominating and voting on the games that'll be in that event. So if you sub to the channel, you make the event happen. If you pledge to my Patreon, you can control the event. You see what I mean? So this splits it up.
So at least now there's motivation for the people who were here and contributing on the streams to contribute more.
This was the birth of him double dipping and whatnot. This was the birth of it. I knew this was going to be a good video to pick. Yeah, this is when he came up with that scheme, which worked for a month, maybe two. And then when he did that first fundraiser on Twitch and he saw all the crazy money he got, he abandoned it. He abandoned it because he was like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna just do charity / fundraising streams, bruh, and that's gonna be the new lick, dude." And then he overplayed his cards and he screwed the whole thing up. Had a nice little scheme going. It was going to be in decline eventually, but he screwed it all up for himself. In typical Dave fashion. Dspnews.
Come watch me and give me monies, and if you don't, I'll have no life and no way to make money.
Right? And that way the event will happen, and then the bonus is that if you pledge to Patreon, now you get to control that event. I think this is a good idea, and I want to give a shout out to Nick. And he just said it in the stream chat, by the way. He's trying to take credit. Yes, it is Nick. Nick gave me this idea.
Man, I'm stupid. Completely brain dead.
And I was like, I think this is good. Because it's going to motivate people not only to participate where they're already participating, right? But it also is going to motivate people to also go the extra mile if they really want to have a part of this event, okay? So that's what I'm thinking it's going to be. Is that it's going to be like a dual thing. Get people to participate on Twitch, and then get people to participate on Patreon. And that way the events still happen.
But I make out, because obviously I'll get additional subs and stuff here on Twitch. That's going to work out for me. I certainly won't complain there. I get all that money. You know how rude it
is? See, this is where Phil was being stupid because, as I've said before, Patreon was firmly linked to YouTube and to the stuff that he was doing on YouTube. So, yeah, he makes out, and that's more subs and everything for him and more attention for him on Twitch. But what about YouTube? What do the people on YouTube benefit from all that? And that's how he just picked up and left basically a whole demographic of his fan base. Hence the reason why there's a North Goutopia and a South Goutopia. He did it all on purpose because he only went with what was right in front of him. He couldn't think in the long term. He forgot about the people who brought him to where he was at. He immediately abandoned them for the hot new thing out. And the repercussions of that he's feeling to this very day.
To ask people about money, you should not ask about fucking money. And Phil's a beggar.
Right? And then, you know, on Patreon, the control of the event on Patreon also could work, right? Now, it's not implemented yet. What I need to do, I need to think about this for a while to think of a good event that I could do for that. Ladies and gentlemen, November's Patreon goal, okay? November's Patreon goal is a holiday gaming marathon, Christmas themed, all right? If you pledge to my Patreon this month, and if we hit the funding goal, I'm going to be doing a marathon of gaming either on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. I obviously, either day, some people are going to be busy, so maybe I'll even do it the day before. Maybe I'll do it December 23rd. You know what I mean? Just so that way, people who are not available exactly on the day would still be able to watch this marathon, especially if they contribute. And what it's going to be is people who pledge $5 or more this month to my Patreon are going to be able to nominate and then vote on Christmas-themed video games for me to play during this marathon. Shout out to Waifu Destroyer Matt, who did a $2 tip.
Thanks for the money, stupid fuck. I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills.
He says, since the Patreon goal in October didn't get hit, maybe you should mix up the goals to increase interest. Have you thought about a live stream Cooking with the King? I think that would be the goal. No problem. Hit the goal. No problem. Keep on keeping on. First of all, to do a live stream Cooking with the King, I would need to find a way to live stream from my kitchen. The only thing I can think of is my phone, and I can't guarantee that the quality would be great because I've never done that before. So number one, you may have me setting up a goal, it hits the goal, and then the quality of the stream or video or whatever you want to say is absolutely terrible. Number two, I don't know what the hell I would make, because when I did Cooking with the King, I literally made all the recipes I knew. This is what people don't seem to understand. I've said it a million times over the years, and they don't listen. The reason Cooking with the King ended is because I had nothing else to make. The whole point of the series was Phil makes really simple-to-make meals that gamers could easily make. I mean, think of the things I would make. Grilled cheese, scrambled eggs, a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, French toast, you know. Those were the things I was making.
And some things that I made, I fucked up. Even the most simple things, some things I would fuck up.
I don't have anything else I can make. I already made my Italian sauce in videos. That's been done since 2014. I did that. So there's nothing else for me to do. And you're like, oh, I want you to start making an elaborate recipe from a cookbook.
Dude, it's not going to happen. Number one, I'm by myself. How am I going to do elaborate cooking by myself? Number two, I'm not a good cook.
It's not going to come out good.
How am I going to do elaborate cooking by myself? Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I know it's funny, but let's try to address little Philly's problem here for a minute. Okay, so how do I cook something elaborate by myself? Okay, Phil, you don't want to read an app? Okay, no problem. You don't want to buy a cooking book? Okay, fair enough. Okay, so there is Tasty, right? They have a YouTube channel. You can find them on Twitter. There's other stuff too, because I follow a lot of those channels. They make small videos, Phil. The video is like a minute and a half. You can pause it. There's a pause button, and you can do it. It's super easy to put shit together. They break down meals, certain dishes, I should say, into like 4 or 5 steps. No problem. Now here's the thing. Here's one of the main problems with Phil, and it goes back to what he said. How am I supposed to make an elaborate meal by myself? Who says it has to be elaborate? Who says that? Who says it needs to be that? See, Phil, it's the same stupid shit that you were saying here as what ended up getting you in trouble with the War Dog leader later on down the line. This is one of the things that ended up making you look like a fucking moron and end up screwing your whole shit up. Because you sat there and gave a fucking pathetic excuse to something that wasn't even that serious. No one said you have to make anything elaborate. You know what I'm saying? Buy some microwavable meals and make that shit. You telling me you can't whip up nuggets and fries? You telling me that you can't do spaghetti and meatballs with your shitty ass sauce? You know what I'm saying? It's not hard to cook food. It really isn't. You're telling me that you can't make homemade chicken breasts? Breaded chicken breasts? It's just not, you know what I'm saying? You can't make fish? You can't whip up a steak? You can't do any of these things. And you're talking about 2 or 3 hours between your pre-streams. It just requires a little bit of planning ahead of time. It's not hard. It's hard for Phil because Phil looks at it as, oh, well, why do I have to cook it? Why can't somebody else do it for me? That's their job. I'm already doing work. I shouldn't have to come home and work too, dude. And that's why I think he moved Panda, sorry. I mean Cat too, but that's the reason why he moved Panda all the way across the country like that. He never had any intention of marrying her. She was merely just a live-in servant. With the potential of marriage somewhere down the line, but I don't think he was ever going to marry her. If he could have and kept her, could have gotten engaged and kept that going for 10 years, he'd have done it. He could have done it. But the moment that he was like, hey, you know, I need you to get a job, and she ended up finding freedom outside that house, a freedom that she wasn't ready for, nor was she even looking for, until it actually came up, he was fucked. Royally. All over some meals. Over some meals. Like, I can't cook an elaborate meal. Basically what he's saying is I can't cook anything. If you've seen the Poorly Cooking with the Kings, I guess we can do that as part of Gout and Wine. I guess we could. Those things are easy to pick apart, though. But if you've ever seen any of those things, he royally fucks shit up. He doesn't know how to cook. It's not that he doesn't know how to cook well. He just doesn't know how to cook. He doesn't know what he's doing. You know what I mean? At all. It's almost like going to like a high school home ed class or some shit. It's ugh. And if you've ever seen any of that, or ever been in one of those classes, you know that first week or two is rough for some people. It's super rough. But afterwards, some of them learn, some of them don't. Well, some of them just learn slower than others. But that's pretty much what Phil did. He watched a couple of cooking shows and was like, oh, I can do that. And royally fucked it up. And then got embarrassed because people shitted on him in the comment section. He expects everything to be done for him. And he wonders why people laugh at him and say he's fucking helpless and useless. Because you are. You're the quintessential of all of that. Let's continue. Dspnews.
Like, there's no point in doing this. I want to spend all this time and money making this elaborate meal that comes out like shit. Wow, that's a great stream for everyone.
Me making a pile of shit. How about this? I'll do a live stream and I'll just shit on a plate. I'm a mature adult.
So, see, that's what I mean, like, there's no reason, right, that's why it was called Poorly Cooking with the King, because it was me basically being silly, making silly little meals. The idea died 6 years ago. Guys, it's been dead for a million years. Here, let me put it this way. Would I consider doing a live stream special event for Patreon? Yes. Would it be Cooking with the King?
No! You think I'm the villain? Go fuck yourself. I prefer a penne. Oh! Easy to eat. Oh! Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat.
This is how to play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are here, let's see, as you know, Snort Burnell. Let's see, DsPgaming Daylight Savings Time and begging for subscribers, November 5th of 2017.
Oh my god, excuse me. Oh my god. Excuse me.
And someone has to live with that. People have to, well, one person anyway, has to listen to that. I can see why the hamsters didn't make it out of there alive. Jesus Christ.
Devour. trying to clear it out, and it's not working. Stupid frog in my throat. Devour. I think I just got it, actually. Okay. That was delicious. Oh! Sound good?
Now, I got a few things to discuss here today on the pre-stream. The first, folks, you may not be aware of this, but it's very important.
No, let's address some of that for a minute. So, it's funny how with Cat, at least from what we've seen on stream so far, you don't hear none of that shit. No snorting, no belching, none of this disgusting ridiculousness, none of that. When he was doing the Twitch events or whatnot, where he was featured, you didn't see any of that. When he was by himself or when he was with Panda, he was letting it all out, all of that shit out, which yet again just shows you what that poor girl had to go through and how much disrespect she had to deal with being around this fucking. I mean, he's basically a human man-sized pig. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus Christ, he has, like, was he raised in a barn or something? The fuck? Like, you telling me you couldn't leave the stream for just like, but hey guys, give me a second, and just step out the room, go to the bathroom or something, handle that? You gotta, I mean, Jesus Christ. Couldn't drink some water, bitch, you couldn't take a sip? Sleazy asshole, you couldn't do none of that? Praise be Almighty. Good God, man. Like, it's just, and the thing is, and here's another thing, it's not just it wasn't just Panda, but the audience in general who have to sit there and listen to that shit. He did it in front of them with no shame at all. He was just cool with doing it. He was just like, oh, here you go, accept me at face value. And that's what happened without any real recourse. It was kind of insane. It's kind of insane that they let him do it for as long as they did. But I guess what are you going to do? Fucking A, man. That's crazy. Dspnews. Ugh.
In the United States of America, later tonight, it's actually at 2 a.m. on Sunday, the 5th. So that would be, if we're calculating as of right now, 13 hours from now, our daylight savings time ends. All right? It's hilarious because a lot of people are still debating why we still do it. And a lot of people are like, I don't even know, it doesn't serve any purpose anymore. Like, you know, years and years ago, daylight savings time, or it's actually daylight saving time, by the way, not savings. Daylight saving time had a purpose, and it doesn't anymore. Like, it really doesn't serve anything for anybody at all. And it seems like it's just a waste of time. Like, it's so stupid because, you know, every certain amount of months, we have to remember to change our clocks.
I'm not a whiny baby.
And it throws everybody off. Because all business changes, all the times of all the businesses around here change. The banks, you know, everything in America, in the United States, changes by this hour. So, honestly, you know, I have to change my time too. Because if I don't, then I won't even be aligned with all the businesses and everything around here. So my streams will change by 1 hour starting tomorrow. And well, what does that mean? It's fall back, meaning we gain an hour. So it's so stupid. At 2 a.m., our clocks will roll back to 1 a.m. I know that sounds really stupid, because it is, but that's what it is. We gain an hour, so that means tomorrow...
Hey, that's stupid, you get an hour's sleep. Shit, what's wrong with that? I mean, for you, Phil, I mean, why do you think it's so stupid? You work from home anyway, if you want to call what you do work. So it doesn't really affect you either which way. You're just going to snore through it and snort through it anyway. I mean, it's no big deal. Fucking idiot. Absolutely amazing.
Yes, I'll be streaming at the same times, but not really. It'll actually be an actual hour later in the day that I will be streaming. So, yeah, it'll be... So, FYI, just so you guys are aware, tomorrow I will be here for the stream. You know, it'll be, you know, business as usual.
Now, this is how much of an idiot Phil is. He doesn't realize that, you know, Phil, from everything, that all electronics and stuff like that, automatically just, you know, go ahead and just adjust itself as needed. So... if someone looks at their phone, for example, like, oh, Phil's going to be on in half an hour, they're not going to miss it. They're going to show up. All electronics do that. You don't have to manually punch it in anymore like back in your day. It does it automatically. Your cell phone, everything does that. So what's the problem, Phil? Are you really that you really think you're that important, right? that daylight savings time is going to become a daylight savings time, ladies and gentlemen, in 2017 was a detractor and completely screwed Phil up. That's what it was. And Phil was just putting it on notice. He was like, "Hey guys, daylight savings time is a detractor, man. I need you guys to come through. Please don't leave me on stream for an hour and no one's going to show up. Please don't." Knowing that, let's see, this was November. Nah, Brightside Viking was already gone. Yeah, Brightside Viking should have been already gone at that point. No, he wasn't gone yet because the escort saga hasn't happened yet. Holy fuck, 2017 was crazy. Brightside Viking would have been there. He'd have been there on time and whatnot, and he wouldn't have had any problem with sending the messages out. That was back when Kiwi Farms was, or not Kiwi Farms, but that's back when King of Hate Forums was still functional to some degree. So the word would have gotten out, Phil. You're not that damn important. Where people are going to be like, "Oh, I better make sure I set my clock back tonight so I can show up for Phil. Phil needs me." No, stop, Phil. Silly pig.
For zombies, but keep in mind that it's daylight saving time, and therefore it will be an hour later than usual. Okay. Apparently in the European Union, over in Europe, it already happened. You guys already did it. That's what I mean, too, why it's so stupid. It's so confusing, because different places in the world do it at different times. And so... So it's like, what time is it?
Completely brain dead. Nothing between here and here.
You know, for someone across the world, what time is it? I don't know. The times are all screwed up. Time's all screwed up everywhere, man. A lot of countries are getting rid of it. Because they're like, what is the point of this stupid thing? It doesn't matter anymore. It's so pointless. So, I guess we'll see. We'll see how it goes with this. But hopefully people will be here on time.
Well, thank God Phil is not an international businessman. And Phil, nobody in previous years ever had a problem showing up to your streams after daylight savings time. So why are you bitching about it now? Is your life really going that slow that you just you needed to grab something? You needed to grasp on to something to bitch about that day? Wow, that's really sad. Funny though, but it's still pretty sad.
That's the other thing I gotta make sure with the people who I'm co-oping with tomorrow, that they're aware of the daylight saving time change, so that I don't go to do zombies tomorrow and there's nobody around. I, as of last night, hit the record for the most number of subscriptions I've ever had on the stream at once. And actually, right now, I want to say shout out to Hobbs1017, who just subbed to the channel.
Sometimes I seriously think that people are incredibly fucking stupid. I don't understand what they were thinking.
Thank you very much for that, Hobbs. What I'm doing right now is refreshing. I want to see how many subs I have, because I may have now topped that. Let's see. Hold on. Yes, as of right now, I have 292 subscribers to my channel. That's the most I've ever had. So thank you very much to everyone who has subscribed to the channel.
Thanks for the money, dummies, because that
does sum up pretty much the hardcore Pig Roach fan base. About between 297 and 300. That pretty much sums it all up. On a good day, you might be able to get 350, but that pretty much sums it all up. Wow. Listening to Phil talk a year ago, and just hearing some of this incompetent shit that he fucking spewed out, he really just hasn't gotten any better. Good God, man. It's a good thing there's nothing... he's not planning on continuing the Burnell gene. Because that shit just... It didn't work out. It really did. Genetics did not do him any favors whatsoever. Oh my God. That's a harsh one. Could you imagine him having another Burnell? Seriously. The kid would be fucking hopeless. Absolutely hopeless. Wow, man, that's scary. That's absolutely scary. Damn. Where his father poured the grease down the toilet, the bacon grease down the toilet, he might be the type of kid to be like, you know what? I'll just go ahead and pour it out my window. Yeah, I'll do that. No cleanup, no mess, no nothing. End up throwing that shit on his neighbor or something with hot grease. Oh my God. Scary shit, ladies and gentlemen. Scary shit. DSP News.
Exactly what you fucking are. A bunch of fucking empty-headed idiots who paid me money to get absolutely nothing out of it. Thanks. Wow. Some people are just fucking idiots. What else can I say? You gotta be an idiot.
I appreciate that, and now we're actually very, very close to hitting the 300 sub point threshold. If you're not aware, ladies and gentlemen, if I hit the 300 subscriber point threshold, what that means is that it's going to unlock more emotes for the channel. I believe it's 2 more. So we'll be able to add 2 more emotes for subscribers. If I do get this, which would be awesome, right? I like having more stuff for my subbers. Subbers. Oh my god. Subscribers. I'm not going to start calling you guys subbers. I should say subs. For my subs, not my subbers. Subbers sounds like you're talking to like a 5-year-old. Hey, little subbers.
I'm a mature adult.
The thing is, though, that I'm worried about, folks, is the way the subscriptions work on Twitch is that they're literally live per the time that you sub. So to give you an example, right now it's 1:20 p.m. If someone last month subscribed at 1:22 p.m. a month ago, and they don't automatically resub, because maybe let's say they did a Twitch Prime subscription or whatever, they will automatically be decreased from my sub count at 1:22 p.m. And I see this all the time during the streams. I'll be playing, and I'll say, oh, I got 5 new subs today, and then I go look at the subtotal, and the subtotal overall went down for the day, and I'm like, huh? And that's what it is, you know, it's a net for the whole day. So
if a few more people subscribe today, you know, soon, give their money. You know how rude it is to ask people about money? You should not ask about fucking money. And Phil's a beggar. I need that money. I really do. I need that money. Anything for this, right?
that means that we'll hit the 300 point cap and I'll be able to add more emotes, which would be awesome. But I don't know. There's no guarantee that we're actually going to hit that, okay? But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Excuse me.
Shout out to Game Master 2003 is dead, who did a 10-bit cheer. He says, hello, Phil. You should do a patron's choice with poorly cooking with the king when fans vote on what you should cook. Well, it's like I said, someone suggested this the other day as well, but you probably were not here. The reason I ended poorly cooking with the king is because I don't have anything else to do. Like, I cooked to the extent of my cooking abilities. I don't have a good, I'm not a good cook, folks. I'm not, alright? I don't have a lot of versatility when it comes to cooking in the kitchen.
Basically, there's a few things I can do. I can bake something if it's really easy to bake, and I can fry something in a pan.
And, you know, I can maybe make sandwiches and stuff like that, paninis, breakfast stuff like eggs. That's about it. I can't do much of anything else besides my homemade sauce, which is because my mom taught me, and I've now been perfecting that recipe for 3.5 years, so I'm pretty good at making a pot of Italian sauce. But outside of that,
No, I don't really have much cooking ability, alright? I'm terrible at chopping vegetables.
I don't really have any kind of baking or culinary or anything like that. Nothing. No kind of expertise. So, people are like, oh, well, we'll just do a random recipe. Like, so, what you want me to do is take time away from working, where, this is how I pay my bills, to one day somehow figure out how to live stream out of my kitchen.
Yes, that's how you pay your bills, but you want to eat, right? Your hands aren't put on backwards. You know what I'm saying? You better hop to it. You better hop to it. Like, I'm sure even his father, to some degree, knew how to cook something. You know what I mean? So it's not like Phil spent his whole life watching his mother slave away in the kitchen all fucking day, and he just thought that's the way things are. And you don't work. Like, you don't. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? If you've ever seen, like, a video from Nate Shot, Scump, any of these guys, they've done cooking videos. Some pretty good ones at that. So, and they actually do this shit for a living. For a living. Like, they're real professionals and shit. And they can cook. So what's holding you back, Phil? PewDiePie cooks. What's holding you back, Phil? Markiplier cooks. What's holding you back, Phil? Tevin did a video making nachos, son. It's nachos. And he actually made it super easy too. Actually, I need to actually need to make that. And well, that should look delicious. And he did it. And he has a real job. It does this shit on the side. What's your excuse, Phil? God damn, you're hopeless, man. I'm telling you, if there's no one to take care of Phil Burnell dies. To sum it all up, if there's not someone there to hold his little hooves, kicking and screaming, he dies. He can't do shit for himself at all. So it's funny how you can lead all these kids all fucking day, but you can do nothing for self. It makes no sense. Dspnews.
Which I also don't know how I would do. I guess I'd have to mess with my phone and find a way to mount my phone on a tripod or something in order to film this. Keep in mind, the video quality on a phone isn't great either. Just throwing that out there because a lot of people are like, oh, in real life streaming. You do realize that like video streaming on a phone is not good. It's not. It's pretty shitty. I'm just saying, but and so then you want me to not only figure all that out, then you want me to do a random recipe I've never done before.
So obviously it's probably going to come out wrong.
And stream live from my kitchen. The other thing is, you know, yes, maybe the prep work would be interesting. Absolutely. You know, okay, I'm chopping the ingredients.
I mean, you make your mother's sauce at least twice a year, and that shit definitely looks like it's coming out wrong. Every year, every video I've ever seen Phil of making that sauce, it looks fucking horrible. There's no way that's what his mother taught him to do it that way. Not at all. Every time I've seen that sauce video, I know for sure that he fucked that recipe up. He had to, for sure, without a doubt. I don't even question it. So you trying something new might not be a bad thing, Phil. It's like trying a new video game. If it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. Phil's worry is, oh, I'm going to waste my money. I'm not going to like it. How many DSP tries have you done and you didn't like it? Thank God for that second or third meal that you bought to go along with it, right, Phil? If you make something and it doesn't come out right, no problem. Go ahead and order something. You're good for that. Jump in there and get a Hungry Man meal. You're good for that. You have options. Not very good ones, but you got options.
Putting them together or whatever to make this meal. But what about the cooking time? What do you want me to do? Sit around with my thumb up my ass? I realistically don't see how this could be.
No, he can't. He cannot do noodles. We all saw that. He used this coffee maker for that one, and then thought it was a good idea to eat that shit with a spoon. We eat cup noodles with spoons around here, people. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I've gone to quite a few Italian restaurants, right, where they give you a fork and a spoon for like large bowls of pasta and shit. Okay, so I get that. So I don't know if he tried to tap back into his Italian heritage and was like, what little of it that he has, I should say, and thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and eat this. I'm going to eat these noodles out of this styrofoam cup with a spoon. I think it's a good idea. Oh my God. If you guys have never seen that video, you got to check it out. It's a sad display, to say the very least, of incompetence in action. I've never seen anybody do that. I've seen people eat it with a fork or chopsticks. You drink the soup part at the end, Phil. After you're done with all the noodles, then you go ahead and slurp and basically just tip the cup over and drink the rest of the broth. You don't eat cup noodles with a spoon, you idiot. You fucking buffoon. Oh, someone needs to send that to his parents and tell them and see what they think. Jesus Christ. DSP News.
Idea. I don't. I just don't. I honestly, I think what would happen if I set this up as a Patreon goal. Here's what I think, exactly what I think would happen. We would probably hit the goal because it's something so different. I think people would come out to pledge to hit it. People would vote and everything on these things and what they want to see me cook. Finally, something would be chosen that's probably so fucking elaborate and crazy that it would be so overcomplicated. There's no way I'm going to do it right. Okay, it could cost me a bunch of money to get all the ingredients. Now I'm going to try to do it. The stream quality is going to be shit. It's probably going to be like terrible, choppy, and everyone's going to complain that they paid to see this and now it's shitty quality. And overall, the stream probably won't be very good. All right, being honest here. And then people are going to complain that it's not good. You know, there's sometimes when I think that there's good ideas, and sometimes I think that they're bad ideas. I don't think this would be a great idea. I'm just saying. You know.
But, you know, maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, let me stop right there. Let's think about this for just a minute when we think about DSP Tries It, right? Think about all the different things you've seen him eat, from seafood to burgers to more burgers, and to different types of sandwiches, so on and so forth. Things that, sadly, he can't make. But he was able to critique them, though, as if he knew what he was talking about. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Think about you dissecting something that you can't make yourself. And I'm not saying that, for example, that you could make everything. Like, for example, if I made beef Wellington and baked Alaska, some of you guys may know what that is, some of you guys might not. But, you know what I'm saying, would you be able to critique it and tell me what exactly it tastes like if you've never had it before? Or if you've never even made it before, if you don't know how to make it? But this idiot right here has the nerve to critique burgers, and he can't even really make a burger himself. Poorly Cooking the King proved that. It was disgusting how he fucked that burger up and whatnot. Panda was a little bit better with it, but he completely screwed that up. Tacos. If you ever saw Phil's poorly cooking with video with the tacos, oh my Christ. He fucked up from minute 1. He was screwing the game up on that one. Or his infamous toasted tuna melt. Oh my Christ. Oh, I'm starting to get disgusted just talking about it. But anyway, he can barely make any of those things that I just named, but yet he critiques it like he knew what he was talking about in DSP Tries It. Just something to think about. DSP News.
There's a lot of times that I'm wrong, too. I mean, I'm not afraid to admit when I'm completely wrong, and maybe I am wrong here. Maybe I'm off base.
Maybe this would be a good idea for a goal for like maybe January. Maybe January's patron goal. Do, you know, this in real life stream that I figure out how to do it with my phone, and I do some kind of cooking. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah, exactly. Crystal Chemist. He just said GSP Tries It. Beef Wellington. Exactly. That's what it would end up being. It would be like something so hard that even on like cooking shows, people fuck up and can't do it right. That's what people would ask me to cook. I'd be like, how the fuck am I supposed to do this?
All right. Well, anyway, all right. I'll take it into consideration.
It's called practice. It's called practice, motherfucker. Shit, you think the first time I made beef Wellington, that shit was easy? No. And I watched my mom make that shit. Dude, my mother makes beef Wellington like twice a year. So you're talking about almost all my life. I watched my mother make that shit. And the first 2 times at least I fucked it up. I fucked up the beef Wellington part. Baked Alaska was easy. But I fucked up the beef Wellington part. And then eventually I got it. And it was real easy to fuck it. It was really, really easy to fuck it up. It's real easy to fuck it up early because my mother makes everything from scratch. So it was definitely a process, but eventually you get it. You can't be scared to fuck something up. So you messed up. No big deal. It's not that big. I still ate it. I still ate it. You know what I'm saying? It was what it was. Wasn't my shit. I still make beef Wellington now. It doesn't come out like the way my mother's did. Eventually, hopefully when I have children, they like it. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be grandma's, but, you know, it'll be close and whatnot. Maybe one of them will be able to get it to where it needs to be, as it pertains to tasting as good as grandma's did. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, it comes with practice. You know what I'm saying? And it comes with time. You have to be willing to do it. You're not even willing to do that. I was okay with at least trying. And if I failed at it, no problem. Oh, but I didn't really fail because guess what? I keep trying. You were too lazy to try. Hence the reason why you failed. Because you were too scared to try. Story of Phil's life, though. DSP News.
Maybe in January we'll do this as the goal or something. I don't know. Shout out to Slash, who just did a 15-bit cheer. Are you a functional retard? I have to ask. And shout out to Darth Radovan Viking. This guy fucking sucks my dick. I prefer a penne. Oh! Easy to eat. Oh! Phil's a
This is how to play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Oh my god. So.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are here at the closing finale. DSP Gaming. Or Burnell. DSP Gaming. Terrible Sounds, which you're hearing some of that now. And Begging for Money. November 7th of 2017. Here we go.
Good.
You may have noticed. Just a few things, folks. You may have noticed that, number one, we had some music on pre-stream today.
What the fuck? I went back in time. Going back in time. Going back in time. Don't trust me. Don't trust who? Selson Blue. That I can do. Don't trust me. Don't trust who? Selson Blue. Don't
trust who? Oh shit, here they come, fuck those motherfuckers. Chop them with the big shit sword. Chop them with the big shit. Chop them with the big shit sword. My sword has titties. I have the best sword ever to take biddies. To take biddies. I have the best sword ever to take biddies.
Huh? Why am I toxic? And, oh my god. Oh. Holy fucking shit, that was an insane belch. I didn't even feel coming. Excuse me. Oh, man. So.
Yes, per the request of the stream regulars, those who are here every single day and or often, who are tired of hearing either silence on pre-stream or the background music of the PS4 dashboard, I've created a playlist of a lot of the very popular remixes that viewers and fans of mine made way back in the day. We're talking like 2010, okay? These used to be very popular on YouTube. They got tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of views each.
That's insanity.
This is pretty cool because you get a blast from the past.
It makes me look like I have a giant penis when I really don't. I'm more about looking forward than looking back. A lot of people don't realize that next year will be my 10th year being a gamer on the internet.
Making videos for YouTube and live streams, right? Pretty crazy. So this is a cool throwback. And I enjoyed putting the playlist together. By the way, you've only heard about 4 songs today as I played them on pre-stream. If you're watching this video on YouTube and you weren't here for the stream, you obviously didn't hear it. You're going to have to come by pre-stream sometime to hear these, okay?
What?
But
now, as you guys know, we all know how his 10-year anniversary worked out for him. Lost a YouTube channel. lost a YouTube channel, lost sponsorship. Sat there and caused, well, at least one fucking major outrage on Twitter. His 10 years is going really, really well. Then picks a fight with Tevin, only to turn around the next day and say he broke. His 10 years have been great, I gotta tell you. It really has.
that being said, yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, this playlist has about, I believe, over a dozen songs, and you've only heard about 4 of them. So there's going to be a lot of variety in this, you know, moving forward.
And tons of dumb people have fucking left. Why do you think they're my detractors now?
You may have noticed there's some new title cards here running on the pre-stream. First of all, one for my new Teespring merch. That is right, ladies and gentlemen, there's new
product on my Teespring shop for the first time since July, and it's really good stuff. You have to be brain dead fucking stupid to believe that. Anything that you buy from my Teespring shop, I make a significant commission from, and it helps me out tremendously. I need that money. I really do. I need that money.
Now, in addition to that, you might have also noticed there's a new title card here with a promo for this month's Patreon. I haven't done a title card for Patreon in months. I realize that.
That may be one of the major reasons why Patreon isn't getting enough attention.
So I made a title card for it this month. It is the holiday Christmas marathon. The gaming marathon is going to be great. If I do hit the funding goal for the month of November, I'll be doing a Christmas-themed gaming marathon, okay? This marathon is going to be awesome. I'm going to be dressing up as, in holiday attire, probably like one of these ugly Christmas sweaters, and a holiday hat, and, you know, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be drinking during the stream. I'm going to be playing crappy, holiday-themed video games that you guys will nominate if you pledge $5 or more to my Patreon this month. Already overnight, we had a few people who pledged. They were like, wow, this is a good idea, and they pledged. So, hopefully now that I've got this pre-stream title card, more people will notice it, and we will get,
you know, get some money, pledges. And by the way, you know, I should say this. If anyone ever wants to do remixes and stuff of playthroughs I'm doing or whatever, it's you know, go ahead and do it. It's possible. I'll promote it. What?
It was...
Now that I think about it, I don't think anybody ever did. And when I think he's still stuck with the 12 or 15 or whatnot. You hear them on Tevin's stream sometimes. He plays them. Because Phil, like I said, Phil does that to this day. He still plays all those those shitty songs. No, I think there's probably like one song that I think it's alright. I'll think about that. But yeah, so he hasn't changed much in a year. He really hasn't. And no one, I don't think anybody's made anything now. If not, they would have already been picked apart. So there's no need to do that. Don't oust yourself, you know what I'm saying, as being a proud member of the pig cult if you don't have to. DSP News.
Weird. 2010 was the year when everyone was so hype into my stuff, and like everything I did on YouTube was white hot. Even though it's funny, that wasn't the year I got the most views. The year I got the most views was actually 2011 on YouTube. For whatever reason, I don't know why. But 2010, it's just like everything I did was like striking gold, and everyone loved every playthrough I did. And you know, this was before live streaming and direct capture, which is kind of funny. But hey, you know, people were making remixes and everything. It was a pretty cool experience. Keep in mind, this is back in the day when. When YouTube channels were more of social network than anything else.
I'm more about looking forward than looking back.
And I hope you guys are at least enjoying everything. From what I've seen, you are.
People are watching on YouTube. People are here on the streams. People are contributing on the streams. It's really awesome. So it looks like everything's good and everyone's liking what's going on. So I'm just going to keep it going. Okay. Wow. Wow, he did 1,000 bits of cheering overnight. Thank you, Golden Colts, for the overnight cheers again. Thanks for the money, stupid fuck. Shout out to Schofield Lord, who subbed to the channel for the 12th month in a row, earning himself his ruby crown. You suck my dick. You suck my dick. Please pledge, folks. I really want to do that marathon. I really, really do. I love Christmas. And give their money, give their money. Then that's all I care about. Anything for this, right? You know how rude it is to ask people about money? You should not ask about fucking money.
That would be
Now, yet again, it's funny the how things have happened in a year. So, like I said, this time last year he was pushing Patreon. He was pushing for that $1,250. Now he's pushing for what 550 subs, which I believe he's reached the goal at this particular point. You know what I mean? And which one is more lucrative, theoretically? Then again, if you think about it, he was at what 11? He was at like 1,100 subs a month ago. So, in the big picture, he was probably looking at that being the much larger number. So he didn't touch Patreon, or he didn't mention Patreon at all for it. When in truth, if he was smarter with his greed, he'd have pushed both. He would push for Patreon and push for subs. But he's too lazy, so he won't even do that. So now, the potential of getting $1,250 it's not even in his mind right now. He just wants subs. Gifted subs, sock accounts, he don't care. As long as he has subs. It's a shame. But it also shows it just shows you, though, how much further he's slipped. How much further he's fallen in the span of a year. He went from chasing $1,250 on Patreon to chasing 550 subs on Twitch. Wow. DSP News.
Give you guys some idea of all the stuff I've got planned for this Christmas. This is going to be the biggest Christmas I've ever done on stream and on YouTube. I'm going to be doing a holiday-themed Ask the King. Okay? Q&A, you know, regarding, hopefully, you know, Christmas stuff, but I'm sure other stuff as well. I'm going to hopefully be doing this holiday gaming marathon. In addition, I'm going to be doing WWE 2K18 Holiday Sims, and it may be the Sims or maybe another event where I do kind of what I did last year, where I basically talk with all of you about the holidays, about Christmas, and we're going to have like a discussion about Christmas stuff live on stream, okay? So it's going to be basically 4 events for Christmas. I've never done that before. Never. I've never done this much for Christmas. So I'm super hyped for it, and I hope that you guys are excited too.
People are so gullible. People are such fucking sheep with this shit. Seriously. Unbelievable how people get fooled by this shit. Seriously. Shout out to Atlas Telemon, who did a 50-bit cheer. You're an idiot. You paid me money.
He's the most productive one-man army on YouTube. I honestly can't say I could do what you do, even if I try. For me, now at this point, honestly, it's just
habit. Like, I've done it for so long. You know, get up, get moving, get stuff set up, start gaming, take a break, get back to gaming, upload videos, babysit them, deal with YouTube bullshit and drama. You know what I mean? Like, I've done it for so long that for me it's just like a normal thing.
And yet, out of all that, he couldn't cook. Cooking for himself is nowhere in that whole equation. At all. Wow. Just wow.
The villain, go fuck yourself. I know for a lot of people sitting here for 7-8 hours talking all day would be weird. But for me, it's commonplace now, you know? This is my life. This has been my life for the greater part of 10 years. You know, and maybe even more. We'll see. I prefer a penne. Oh! Easy to eat. Oh! Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a beggar. I have a micro penis.
Well, there you guys go. That is the hardcore begging season, at least the beginning of it, for 2018, and we got to see the start of it in 2017. I don't know. It sounded like he had more planned in 2017 as compared to this year. Couldn't tell you, but it's still early. Okay, there's a lot that can still play out. Okay, during the hardcore begging season, Phil had to get the money up for the girlfriend. Escort was going around. We still blood for the blood gods. Brightside Vikings war against Kiwi Farms. There's a lot of exciting shit going on at that time. Okay, a lot of exciting stuff. It's still early in the hardcore begging season. The gates have just opened, so there could still be a lot of potential if we give it a little bit of time. And as Phil becomes more and more desperate, ladies and gentlemen, he may not be able to cook himself a meal. Not even an elaborate meal. He may not be able to cook himself a meal, but he sure as hell knows how to make an ass out of himself so people can laugh at him. So give him time. As I've said, he'll hang himself. Give him time, and the gout will provide. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. Oh yes, a GTG Networking Productions. I am your host, /anchor GTG, and I am signing off. Have a good day, guys. End of broadcast. Oh wow, hasn't been this long in a while. Yeah, that's how you know it's the hardcore begging season. The videos start to get longer and longer. Oh, wow.